Jess, could you start us off with a recap of last session?
They all started to head towards Baldur's Gate and into the Wide. The market was up and running and the pavilion was quite busy. Anya and Samira went to see Toramesh and Eartha went to go see Abbott. Abbott's home was filled with mechanical engineering and he seemed to be currently working on a mechanical arm, holding a longsword, and he revealed to Eartha that a possession had been stolen from the artificers. Eartha questions Samura via sending about the arm he saw in his vision. They all meet back up at the Elf Song Tavern and Eartha discusses the wanted poster of himself with Elan. Samura contacts Tiamat to ask her to locate Damon and the Iron Golem. Anya contacts the Whiskey Lady to ask for help, but she cannot help. Elan tells them of an investment at Sorcerer's Sundries and are told by Riverland that there is a time gate, and apparently there's only 3 in existence that are basically have access to 3 legendary planes. And he also reveals that some adventurous disclosed information about the journey. He says it'll cost about 10,000 gold pieces. They head to Manorborn, to the Aeamean house, where Damon is suspected to be. They approach the home. The doors are unhinged. The foyer is filled with dead bodies, and there's a male lion just splattered in blood sat within the chaos. They enter past the gallery, and the lion speaks, and he reveals that his master is waiting on the top floor. They hear muffles of noises as they walk up the staircase, and they see Damon throw Nancine across the room, attacking her as she hits him with her appendage. She coughs up blood and struggles to get up, and he snatches the key from around her neck. They get into combat with Damon and manage to kill him. Fleur, unfortunately, is killed by the lion during combat, and Eartha retrieves the key. They cure Nancine to consciousness and interrogate her. She reveals that the key was a family heirloom and that she wants it. They all hide where the key resides because obviously they gain possession of it now. They retrieve Damon's vials, his armour, spear and his scrolls, and they all head back to the Elf Song Tavern to look through the objects that they retrieved from Damon, and that was where we left off.
Yeah, thank you, Jess. So just to start off, just so we're all on the same page, Jackson, if you could read out, it's fairly lengthy, but it's because it's quite a powerful, godly artifact.
Yeah.
If you could read out what the Damon's Key does.
So, Damon's Key, it's quite the item. So, it's like a jagged key, and it's choked with like angular white veins, 4 sinister teeth, basically like spiky. So its first thing is the Black Talon. As an action, you can transform your arm into like a retractable appendage, kind of like like an Elastaman, that type of thing. Which can reach out to 10 feet and deal 2d8 points of slashing damage plus 2 points of necrotic damage per caster level. Cyric's Blessing is the second one. If you are a Cyricist attuned to the key, you gain the following benefits. You are immune to psychic damage, cannot fail a deception check. You omnisciently know when you are being lied to, and a charm effect originating from you does not end if you give a suicidal or harmful command. Now there is a Dread Blast. Fire a black ray of necrotic energy into a single target. Succeed on a ranged attack roll, which deals 3d8 necrotic damage plus 1 point per caster level. Spell also curses them for a similar amount if they are necrotic. Charges them rather than never mind, it heals them instead of hurting them. Then there's Perversion. If you're aligned to the already chaotic evil, if you are aligned to not already chaotic evil, and you attune to the item, you can become chaotic evil. Well, you will become chaotic evil after 24 hours, and it does not change back after you unattune. The key has some spells. 7 charges, regains 1d4 plus 3 after each dawn. And if you control the key, you can use an action to expend 1 charge to cast one of the following spells with a save of DC 18. Circle of Death. 5 charges, Inflict Wound, 2 charges, and Vampiric Touch for 3 charges. Then there's the Uncontrollable Urge. While attuned to the key, you are compelled to kill and maim. If a day goes by and you have not done either, you gain a point of exhaustion. Unsending Raft. While you are attuned, your melee attacks are enhanced as the Wrathful Smite is always active, and the effect cannot be undone. Then Unshackled. Rumor has it that even 7 of these black iron keys exist, and that they hold more power to free Cyric from a supreme throne. And lastly, destroying the key is if a lawful good cleric or paladin consumes the key, like Urfa is, survives and then beds a celestial or a creature with celestial blood before the key is passed, the cleric or paladin becomes the key, gaining all of its abilities, and can be killed to destroy it forever.
You said lawful
So the
good.
process of destroying the
Oh.
key is difficult.
Yeah.
You said lawful good.
Lawful
Lawful
good,
good.
yes.
Is it only lawful good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can't be
So
me.
Ella, no, it can't be you. You
Can't be
can't
me.
good.
No, I'm lawful neutral.
No, okay.
Just as a just a clarifier, just in case, because obviously I just made Jackson read a huge wall. The things that you should keep in mind are, if you attune to it if you are attuned to it for a day, you become evil and you start having evil tendencies. And to destroy the key, a lawful good cleric or paladin, just to reiterate this, lawful good cleric or paladin must eat the key, survive eating the jagged key, then have sex with a celestial creature or a creature with celestial blood, like an Asavar, before the key is passed through their body, which is equally as painful coming out, I imagine. The cleric or paladin then becomes the key, gaining all of its abilities, and then to destroy the key, that person must be killed. But yeah, that person also becomes evil as well, so gains all of the abilities, also becoming chaotic evil. Just to clarify that, because I realised I didn't quite clarify it in the wording. So yeah, as you as you cast Identify on the stuff you found with Damon, so the blood spear that he'd been using, his blood spear, the key, you found out the scale mail wasn't enchanted with any sort of magic or anything, but it's scale mail, it's still got uses. You can explain that to the wider party, and unless you guys have anything else to say about it.
The scrolls. We took the last 2, didn't we?
Yes, so during the Identify we'll say so I think it was, how many scrolls were there? There was 2.
There was
Should be 2, because he only used 2 in
2.
combat.
Yes, so he used the spell magic and a counter spell. So there is 2 scrolls of counter spell. So you reclaimed 2 scrolls of counter spell.
Well,
So yeah,
I'll
2
take
scrolls
that.
of counter spell. The blood spear, Damon's key, and the scale mail is what you took from Damon. So we can kind of just we don't really have to go too far into like whether this is happening the night of or the next morning, because we can kind of skip through a lot of this. So if you guys just want to talk about what you guys are intending to do next, like whether you want to go at Candlekeep or Tempest's Tears, stuff like getting the lion out of the city, all you need to do is cast Reduce and walk him out. So we don't need to play through that. It's like we can assume you do it, because you said you would. So yeah, if you guys just want to talk about what you want to do.
Do you want me to take 2 reduce spells, like 2 spell slots off for that?
Sure.
We're going to also
thank you very much.
need to talk about
Where we're going next.
not even that, it's if we're investing.
Oh, so
Yes.
yeah, Rivelin's opportunity. So just to clarify from last session, so the time gates are kind of like a fable, like if you imagine for us like Greek myths, Roman myths, like legendary stories. Time gates are kind of these wistful stories that people tell each other, like somewhere out there are these time gates that you can specify what time you want to return to, and you can walk through the gate and time travel to this specified time. It could be prehistory, it could be an event in your own life, and you don't know the rules of it because they're fables. Depending on which telling of the story you hear about it, it says like you're there for an hour, you're there for a day, and then you return, you're there for a year, and then you return. All the stories are different, but there are stories about these time gates that let you time travel. So one of the only things normal magic that any of you can cast can't do, and Rivelin supposedly has a lead on where one of these 3 gates might be located, from some adventurers that he's come into contact with. So yeah, you guys can discuss about that as you will and ask any questions if you have them.
I mean, on the upside, we wouldn't have the money if Fleur didn't die, because we'd have to pay her eventually. But now she's,
So that's like a quarter of the quarter of the money we would be spending on this isn't really our money anyways.
I mean,
it's a deal.
We only have 1,100 left.
We have a cool other egg, which I think we should sell in the city, can I point out?
Can we sell it in the city?
I'm sure we can give it a gun. Let's see when I go back to Suba.
Was it not a monster capturer person?
You know what? I'm gonna go to Riverland.
There's a person who like...
Because Riverland is the man who we sold the body to, Ellis.
Body?
Yeah, it was, so we could use it in like his magic stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The weird centipede thing.
Can I walk in the Riverland shop?
Maybe if you guys talk about everything first.
Yeah, okay. So I want to go to Riverland. I want to talk to him about selling a dragon egg, and about how much he'll give me.
And are we doing are we gonna give him the money? Because
if he buys the dragon,
incredible.
I'm gonna say if he buys the dragon egg, we'll invest.
Hear me out though. There's also a person on the outskirts of town who captures monsters and said he'd pay a price for any monster captured. He may buy the dragon egg.
I don't think he has the funds Riverland has.
He might not, but he might be.
You also know Riverland is currently asking for money.
Yeah.
So if Riverland doesn't take it, we can take it to him and see if he'll buy it on the way out. Because he's on the way out.
Yeah, the dragon egg's worth more than 10 grand, so it's a bad deal for us to swap
at least
it.
14.
Yeah.
That's what we should sell it for.
Do we want to pay Riverland and then go sell it to the other guy?
See if Riverland will take it first. If he doesn't...
Yeah.
Go ahead. Jess, do you have any inputs? Anything you want to add?
I think, yes, go to Riverland first. If he doesn't end up paying the amount that we desire, then we'll go to the person on the outside of town. It could be the fact that we say to Riverland, we'll just take it to someone else, and then he'll be even more enticed by it, and he might end up paying a higher price. So yeah, we'll go to Riverland first.
Then, do we want to, after that, what's the plan? Are we going to take the rock, like the stone back? Because it's giving me the cheapy creepies.
If you want to take it back, we'll plan it.
I think, yeah.
If I'm being honest, I think if we're going to take it back, I think we'll go there with you, but I think you need to put it back yourself because
I mean, yeah, I'm planning
you're the one who took it.
Myself. Yeah, that's fine.
Just to clarify, the Citadel is 2 days away. Tempest's Tears is 8 days away. So you'll be, you ran into trolls.
It'll be another month's worth of journey.
Yeah, because it's 8 days there and 8 days back. So that's 16 days just to get back to Baldur's Gate to go a Candlekeep. So you're at that doesn't mean so much out of game, so we can fast forward through a lot of that. But it's about whether and I'm fine with I'm not trying to puppeteer you guys. Just like whether are you guys more worried about what's happening with the Cyric than walking around in circles? Is Samura more worried about what's happening with his friends in Luskin than going back and forth in a straight line pretty much? I'm not trying to puppeteer you guys. Just I want you guys to have all the facts before you make a decision.
I think we've got to think about 2 options with the stone because we're not keeping it. So it's either we take it back to the dragon, or we give it to the dragon kin or dragonborn. I can't remember which one he was.
Yeah, a dragonborn is, imagine someone who's a humanoid, so a human, but has covered in dragon scales, a dragon's head. They're half dragon, half human.
Yeah, he has a tail, doesn't he? Because that's the big difference.
No, dragonborn don't, half dragons do. I don't get what the difference is fully.
Yeah, there you go. So, because if we give it to the guy in Candlekeep, he could share with some great knowledge. Could be like the time gate type of thing,
I
where we
don't
gain
know
a
if he
lot of
will,
knowledge.
'cause
But I don't know if
And
he
you don't know if
respects.
there's a reward.
Yeah, I also don't know if he respects me enough to, he could be like, "Cheers, go away, you're just a puppet." Yeah.
Suppose it does make more sense to go there because it's in Candlekeep and we need to go to Candlekeep anyway. It doesn't make sense for us to go to the Tempest of Tears, then go to Candlekeep afterwards.
My big worry about not taking it back to Tempest of Tears is that I have to then live with the fact that in the future the cathedral and the citadel and the dragon aren't going to be my best friend. Especially when I've already got an Archmage on my back. I really divided and conquered the fear of enemies. Should we just go to Candlekeep? It'd be more fun. Let's just go to Candlekeep.
Once you get, how long?
But
do
you
get
also
teleport?
know you'd be adding less time going to Candlekeep first, seeing what that's about, and then going back to Tempest's Tears rather than doing Tempest's Tears first and then Candlekeep.
We'll go to Candlekeep. I think that's probably the better plan.
I mean, if we
What
go
were you saying, Alex?
Westgate, if we go, I was gonna say if he has teleport, well,
Yeah, I can get
whenever he gets
teleportation.
teleport, he can just teleport back there, can't he? When he gets that, or is that not
Yeah,
how
yeah.
teleportation
If he's
works?
been to the location, it's much easier to just teleport there.
Yeah, he can just pop up, disappear again, be all good.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, I guess we're going to Candlekeep then.
So, is there anything else you want to? So, you guys want to go see Rivelin, and then if he's not interested in the egg, go to the Garrenmore stables and menagerie. Is there anything else you want to do in Baldur's Gate?
Jess, did you not say you wanted an explorer's pack?
Oh yes, I did. So I can get that while we're at the Sorcerer's Sundries.
Yeah, cool. We'll just say, yeah. So you can check with Rivelin while you're there. Anything else? Any other?
I do want to
stuff?
check out Rivelin's shop. I want to see what he's got. What's the stock at the minute?
Okay.
I just want to
Yeah, sure.
also put out that
So everything's in Sorcerer's Sundries.
Yeah.
at Samara, if he's going to keep the stone, I'm going to deny all knowledge that he has it, no matter what, until he puts it back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll say this conversation is happening the majority of the next morning, kind of having a morning drink, quick breakfast, setting yourself up for the day. So are you guys just going to go to Sorcerer's Sundries now, like pre-midday, late morning?
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys walk through the lower city from the Elf Song to Sorcerer's Sundries. And yeah, same as before, it's a shop, pretty regular schedule. You walk in at a fair time. You're kind of walking in as some customers are walking out. They don't look to have bought anything that you can overtly see. They might have either not bought anything or bought something that they've put away. And yeah, they're heading out, and you kind of one of them opens the door for you to come in, and then they skitter out. And yeah, you see Rivelin kind of putting some money away into his own finances, and his apprentice, Gilligan, the female rock gnome, kind of running around doing mundane, busy work, just setting the shop up. And yeah, as he sees you come in, he says, "I trust you're here about my offer, I suppose."
Yes, we have multiple ways we'd like to negotiate this. Firstly, and I'm gonna kind of, no one else is in the shop, is there?
Just you guys at the minute.
Yeah. We actually have a dragon egg from a green dragon. I know it's worth over what you need, so I was wondering, firstly, you can flip a profit on it, which is why I thought you might see it as some value. We could give you that, and you give us, a bit back as well, seeing how it is worth more than you needed from us. Or we could negotiate paying just with actual money.
He's kind of flipping a gold coin in between his fingers, flipping it in between each finger, kind of rolling it around. You are correct. It is worth more than I am asking, but like I told you yesterday, the offer of your buy-in for 10,000 gold goes away in 5 days. If I was to buy something that I then had to sell on, I'm pushing back the amount of time I need to go. So I'm afraid I can't buy it right now. Alternatively, if you really don't want it, if you're looking to flog it, I could take it off your hands and find a buyer and take a commission cut and get the money to you later. But it won't be. A dragon egg is not an easy thing to sell. They are quite pricey. So and you also have to find someone who's actually looking for it and willing to do the work necessary to probably hatch it, unless they want it to be is it stale? Is it alive, or is it calcified?
Yes, it's alive.
That is more difficult to sell. And it kind of rests the coin on the table. Yes, I can take it off your hands and find a buyer, and I can take a commission cut. But I'm afraid I cannot take it in place of a buy-in. I'm afraid.
Yes, that's fine. Let me quickly discuss with the others, and I'll turn
Of
around.
course, Gilligan. And he goes to box and orders his apprentice.
What do you do, Feng? We're just gonna buy in properly, or any objections?
Might as well just buy him properly.
What do we think if we can't sell this egg at the traders, like the Animal Man? Do you want to just maybe do it for a cut with Riverland, or do you want to keep hold of it?
Can do, but he might also know someone who wants one.
He could. That's true.
So, also there's one place I want to go after this, which is back to the Hall of Wonders.
Okay.
Because we're gonna have to go up there anyway to get our horses and stuff, and it's on the way. So.
Yeah. I'll buy. I'll get.
You can't ride your horses to the city. You have to go to the other stables and ask for them to be brought around.
That's what I'm saying. We have to go up there to tell them to deliver it down, don't we?
No. You go to the stables you need to go to and tell them you need them brought around, and they have to facilitate you.
Because I remember last time I went to go tell them to go send them up. And
you can do it either way, but you don't have to do it. You can just let the stable hands do it if that's what you prefer.
Yeah. I'll get the money off. Well, I'll let him first step forwards and pay the man, and then I'll ask him anything new in the shop. Give me a quick recap.
Yeah, sure.
I've got a little more.
So he'll also Anya, assuming you still want it, you can buy an explorer's pack. Just strip off 10 gold and jot down explorer's pack. Aether, cast off 10,000 gold from your.
It's gone already.
Yeah, but you still got a dragon egg for the moment. Okay, so he has largely the same stock as before, minus a few things, plus a few other things. He has a bag of holding, which you obviously have one of, but if you want another, he currently has 3 in stock, kind of on like a, in like Primark or something, like a bit of metal with stuff hanging on it. Like he's got like one of those with 3 bags of holding jutted across it. Aether, you recognize the dust of disappearance that you bought last time. He's kind of got a mason jar on the actual main counter where he'll like scoop a bit out and picture it. So you recognize that from when you bought some last time. You see he's got a few potions. He's got a potion of clairvoyance, which when you drink it, well, first of all, it's kind of a grotesque potion. So it's in a bottle that you see like an eyeball bobbing in this yellowish, like almost urine-looking liquid. It's very gross looking. You don't think it's urine, but it's pretty much like it's that apple juice urine color. And there's just an eyeball bobbing in it. You can't tell if it's a human or a humanoid. You're not quite sure. But yeah, it gives you the effect of the clairvoyant spell. You create an invisible sensor within a range in a location familiar to you. It gives you like the ability to sense things. It gives you clairvoyance, as the name suggests. Potion of climbing is a kind of like brown silver. It's separated into brown, silver, and grey layers, resembling like stratigraphy, like bands of stone on like a rock face. Looks like a very thick, rigid potion. If you kind of give the bottle a shake, they all kind of mix very sludgily and then go back to normal. It gives you better climbing for an hour. Potion of fire breath, orange liquid, which kind of with a bit of smoke rising from it. I don't think I have to explain what it does. Potion of fire breath. Potion of growth, is enlarge, reduce, but just the enlarge effect. He's got a few potions of healing, a potion of hill giant strength. He's kind of got like a big bookshelf and then like a bargain bin filled with like wizard scrolls, or not just wizard scrolls, but like scrolls for arcane spellcasters, wizards, bards, those kind of spellcasters. If you're interested in buying any scrolls, but only of first and second level. He only has one of these. He has an alchemy jug. So it's kind of this ceramic jug, which looks to hold, based on the size of it, it looks like it would hold about a gallon of liquid. Sloshing sounds can be heard from within the jug when it's shaken, even if the jug is empty. You can use an action and name one liquid from the following list to cause the jug to produce the chosen liquid. The options include acid, basic poison, beer, fresh water, honey, mayonnaise, oil, salt water, vinegar, and wine. Afterward, you can uncork the jug as an action and pour that liquid out, up to 2 gallons per minute. The maximum amount of liquid the jug can produce depends on the liquid you named. Once the jug starts producing a liquid, it can't produce a different one or more of one that has reached its maximum until the next dawn. So that's kind of his deal of the day item is the alchemy jug, and the rest seems to be like regular stock that he rotates through. If any of that is of interest to you.
I've got to say the alchemy jug is interesting, but
there are prices on there's everything's priced if you're interested in prices.
How much is the alchemy jug?
200 gold pieces.
It's very interesting, and I do want it, but I think I'm going to pass.
Mm-hmm. He was watching you eyeing it.
Why would you need 2 gallons of mayonnaise?
Because you could produce any of those liquids, so you could produce 2 gallons of any of the other ones as well.
Yeah, also, you can produce 2 gallons. I don't think you have to.
Yeah, it's not a requirement.
Am I allowed to say that Anya overheard that what Samu Ra was asking Riverland of what he had in store? Am I okay to say that Anya overheard that?
Riverland will be. This is just a store. You can see everything. It's on shelves. It's all out on display.
Okay. Could I have a look at the Bard spell scrolls?
It's pretty much just if you want to buy, if there's any spells you want to buy spell scrolls for, there's a bookshelf filled with scrolls, and if you went into a pound shop, there'd be a basket filled with DVDs. It's one of those just filled with scrolls. If there's a specific scroll you want, you can probably just find it in there. There's not a specific set amount of specific set scrolls. Just if you want to look for one, you can probably find it if you have one in mind. Is anyone interested in anything in specific or nothing?
Hypnotic pattern.
What?
Do you want to look for that?
Yeah, a spell called Hypnotic Pattern. It's a level 3 spell for warlocks, bards, sorcerers. And
it's
wizards.
only level 1 and level 2 spells.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Never mind.
How much is the potion of fire breath?
The potion of fire breath is 150 gold pieces.
How much damage does it do? Out of pure curiosity, and how long does it last?
After drinking this potion, you can use a bonus action to exhale fire at a target within 30 feet of you. The target must make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw, taking 4d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. The effect ends after you exhale the fire 3 times, or when 1 hour has passed. The potion's orange liquid flickers and smoke fills the top of the container and wafts out whenever it is opened.
What about the growth thing? How much does the growth thing cost?
Let me pull that up for you. Sorry.
Oh, it's still on. I was going to say, the Hall of Wonders is still on the way, because we've got to go get the lion, don't we?
Yeah, but we're not going to go through that. But the potion of growth. When you drink this potion, you gain the enlarge effect of the enlarge reduce spell for 1d4 hours, no concentration required. The red in the potion's liquid continuously expands from a tiny bead to color the clear liquid around it and then contracts. Shaking the bottle fails to interrupt the process.
How much does it cost?
100 gold pieces.
I mean, Ellis, that could be 4 hours and an extra D4 damage every time you hit anything.
Yeah, but we're now running low on money. We don't know if we can sell the egg just yet.
Fine. Okay, we'll hold off.
Plus, you have the spell.
Also, you can buy, just like Jess just bought the Explorer's Pack, you can buy anything that's on the big adventuring gear timetable in the player's handbook, like just all the generic, like minutia items, just like pocket fillers kind of stuff. You'd be able to find around here, and he'd be happy to sell at like standard price. So you guys holding off on buying? No, he's not a blacksmith.
Wizards and blacksmiths are usually a different thing.
Well, he might have had, like the one lying around or something.
Right, blacksmith in his spare time.
He's a big man. You actually see, Samurai, now that you've been in here quite a few times, you're starting to pick up, if you're right-handed, you use your right hand for most things. You start to notice it's not that he uses his right hand for most things, it's that he doesn't use his left hand for anything. He's still got those gloves on, and like you almost get the sense that his like left hand, maybe even like his left arm, is like lame somewhat.
Okay.
I have a question for the group. Do you know how I said we only had 1,000 gold left?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I spend that on a spyglass?
I like how you told Jackson not to buy a potion, and now you want to spend all of it on a telescope.
Look,
No, I'm joking.
I bought a stupid suit of armor, which could cost me my magic, because I still haven't read the fine print and I refuse to. So yeah, go for it.
Nah. Can we buy a 10-foot ladder for 1 silver piece and kind of like put it in the bag of holding and do like a magic trick where you like pull the ladder out and it just keeps going?
You can try.
Nah. Also, does anyone have detect magic?
Yep.
Can you cast that for me and tell me what you see on Rivlin's hands?
In his hands, he's clearly got magic gloves. I don't know, and also he's a wizard, Ellis.
I know, but detect magic tells you the school of magic, so we can figure out the school on his gloves.
Does it?
It shouldn't it? Or am I thinking of something else?
I don't think.
No, I think detect magic tells you the school.
Okay. Fine. I'll cast detect magic.
I just want to know if he's the tiefling.
I don't think that's a sneaky spell.
It's not. It's verbal and somatic.
And what's the time on it?
Takes 1 action.
Okay.
I'm not going to try and hide it. I'm just going to cast it, just out of the blue.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, it's not. You're in a magic shop, so he might. He'd probably just assume. You probably get people that are like, "Is this really enchanted?" And then they'll check it, like a quality test. So yeah, you do that. You see, he's not wearing anything enchanted. You see like you detect. You've probably kind of noticed this since you're a wizard. If someone is capable of casting magic, there's kind of a sense around them more than people who are not sensitive to magic. If someone is just a fighter, like a warrior or a soldier, they don't really have any connection to the weave. But you kind of get that sense from Rivlin. You do sense from his left hand there's a faint bit of necrotic energy, but the gloves aren't enchanted.
Yeah, so he's probably just got a dead hand. Yeah, I mean, I'll just, I'll kind of try and make it blend in. So, like, after I've, looked at him, I'll just kind of, like, start looking up and looking around, just seeing if there's anything else magical in the room.
Yeah. You kind of, like, looking up, so just to remind you about what the inside of Sorcerer's Sundries looks like, the bottom, like, the floor is, like, the shop, but there's kind of, like, these wooden platforms above you, like these kind of like almost Jackson Pollock-esque, like separated out Picasso-esque platforms that are connected by like stairs and ladders where he lives up above. You can kind of sense some stuff up there, some plants that maybe have a faint magical energy. You can sense what you think is probably his teleportation circle. You see kind of, you get some magic stuff from like further up, his personal stuff. And then you'll also see the stuff that's in the store, the Dust of Disappearance, the Bag of Holding, the Alchemy Jug. things that Anya has, things that Eartha has, stuff that Gilligan's working on. Yeah, just like the kind of what you expected, plus like maybe a little bit of extra.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
You said anything from the adventuring gear, right?
Yeah.
Ammunition is a part of
Uh-huh.
that. So does he sell pistol ammo?
No, he sells arrows.
Shit, okay. I don't need
He'll,
arrows
yeah,
anymore.
he could, yeah, because these are small goods. So he has, it's like a general store, but the specialty is magic items. So you could probably ask him to facilitate pistol ammo, but yeah, he doesn't sell pistols. He's not a weapons dealer.
Oh no, I didn't want the pistol. I just want the ammo at the moment.
He can sell you some ammo. Yeah, if he can send you some like lead ammunition.
I'll take 40 then.
Yeah, sure.
Which is,
Strike that off.
it's 8 gold pieces from my own money before either of you say I'm dipping from the funds.
You know, only Jackson would say that.
Yep.
Yeah, is there anything else you'd like to do? Rivlin will just kind of give you like the brief update. Like, yeah, he doesn't know anything about when he's going to be able to give you updates about the time gate thing. He needs to make sure he's got all the money that he can launch an expedition first. So he's, yeah, like, you don't have any concrete information on that. He just he's offered you the buy-in, which you took. Yeah.
Can I just say, like, just nicely, I'm just going to say this to Jackson because it's easier, just say, like, try and get my point across that, like, whenever you've got your final investor and you're beginning the entire scheme, just sending me, let me know, just because I'm interested, and as an investor, I'd like to know.
Yeah, he'll call you by that. He's like, oh, of course, I'll alert all my investors whenever there's an update. Do you prefer sending, or is there some other means that you would prefer?
It's hard to sit still recently, so sending's probably your best bet.
Perfect. Very good. Yeah, if there's anything else, you can go ahead and look around or ask, or you guys can go about the rest of your day.
I got nothing.
Nothing here.
Okay. So what do you do?
I would like to give the idea to these two of going to the Hall of Wonders to borrow a book but not give it back.
Yeah, I mean, Abbott offered that to you, so I just to save time, we won't go through a lot like the getting the line out of the city, doing that. So if you choose to ask Abbott to follow up on his offer, you can do so, and he will retrieve a book from the High House of Wonders for you. Yeah, you don't need to do that unless there's anything specific you want to talk to him about. He can give you a nondescript book that he is confident Candlekeep does not have in their collection. And Samura, while this is happening, you can go to the AO main house and see some private workers cleaning up the place and reduce Asher and take him outside the city and just let him go in the fields of the dead, and he starts off on his wherever the hell he's going. Yeah, is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'm set.
So what are you guys doing?
We'll go down to the stables, alert them to get the horses sent down to the Candlekeep side of town, the right side of town.
Yeah, so when you go out of the Basilisk Gate, which if you're familiar with, because this is where you'd left your horse with the actual proprietor, Ubis Garenmore, of Garenmore Stables and Menagerie. He recognizes you vaguely. He doesn't remember your name, but he remembers that he's done business with you before, and he kind of he's welcoming you all in, and he'll happily arrange for one of the stable hands to go and fetch your horses and cart from the other location and bring them around the city to this location, so you can head out south. So one of you guys asking about the egg, or are you not doing that?
Yes. It is
Yeah,
this guy,
so
right?
you see him. Yeah, you see him just feeding hay at the horses.
You're the guy who was saying we could capture monsters and bring them back, right? And you pay for them.
He kind of eyes you for a second. Hi. Got the menagerie. Hey.
How much do you want for a green dragon egg? Alive.
I don't think I'd be able to keep a green dragon in this barn.
Do you know anyone who wants one?
And I don't think I'd be able to afford that. And also, no. No, I don't.
Worth a try.
You do remember he had griffins, which were wing clipped, so they couldn't fly. Because,
You could wing clip a dragon.
probably not. Because it can still breathe poison.
Take its mouth shut.
If you hadn't wing clipped one of them griffins, I might have asked about them.
That's where he got him.
They're probably still fast. Yeah.
But they
Is
can't
there anything else?
fly.
Anything else you want to ask about?
Do you know anywhere I would be able to sell one? Like any other, like...
He already said no.
No.
He's just a stable master. He's
Not
just got a
even-
menagerie.
Not even rumours running around.
Not about
Rumours
buying
about who
dragon eggs.
likes dragon eggs.
Well, no,
I've
you
really
never know,
heard
they might-
Dave from next door likes dragon eggs.
No, I more meant like, rumours of like fight clubs and shit that fight like evil monsters and pay people to come watch it, and a green dragon would be a pretty good turnout when you think about it.
Well, we're not in Waterdeep, so
Baldur's Gate, yeah.
we're in the city of crime, not the city of underground crime.
Yeah. Thanks anyway.
No worries. And he goes back to feeding his horses. So you guys doing anything else in Baldur's Gate?
Let's just head to Candlekeep.
No, I can't think of anything else. I mean, yeah, no.
Yeah. So the high road, not the high road, but like the coast road from here to Candlekeep, or like to where the turning off to Candlekeep is. It's about 4 days of travel, but it's a very secure road. It's a main trade route, so you don't really need to worry as much about threats on the road, especially since you're not a small. You've got you3 plus the animated. You're not just a single merchant traveler, so you don't need. It's not necessarily a risky route or anything. So yeah, if you guys are ready to go, it'll be 4 days of travel, and you guys can just tell me because there's no random encounters for this. So if you want to, is there anything any of you specifically want to do on these 4 days of travel?
On the first night, I want to. Everyone goes to bed. We set up our tents and stuff, and then I want to. Well, sorry, no, I don't want everyone to go to bed yet. I want to we set up our tents and we sit down for the night, and I want to go. By the way, and I'll start snapping my fingers and like doing the mage armor thing repeatedly. I got a second trick. And I'm gonna walk into the darkness and just like cast the new trick and disappear, go invisible.
So I'm guessing you're walking out into the darkness, not far enough where you would naturally disappear.
Yeah, like where they could still would be able to see me, but I can still cast it to dim light because I can cast it in dim light.
Yeah, Samura kind of gets your attention while all of you are sitting around the campfire. One of you is probably kind of sitting on the back of the cart, kind of legs dangling over. One or two of you are probably sitting on the ground next to the fire. He kind of gets your attention and takes a few steps back to where he's kind of like in between the bright glow of the fire and the complete darkness of the night. And he just kind of he's just standing there, his kind of wings just kind of tucked behind him. And you just see these almost like tendrils of smoke wrap around him momentarily as he almost gets pulled back into the darkness behind him by this gloom, and he's gone.
Is invisibility meant to have that kind of smoke? I'm saying this to Anya.
You would both know as spellcasters, invisibility typically just turns you invisible.
Buddy,
Go again, Alice. I'll give him a little shout. Yeah, I'm here. It's fine. Just a little twist. But yeah, like in dim light, or like like basically, as long as it's not bright and light, I can go invisible now.
Huh.
Can I walk back up as well and like like pat Eartha on the back and go, I can't wait to see what powers your god gives you, and go to sleep.
Yeah, Eartha, that hits different because the god doesn't talk to you that much. And she doesn't give you that cool shit.
Bird.
Yeah.
Can I just say that Samara
Anya doesn't even have a god, so.
That makes it happy.
Samara says it sincerely and doesn't say it to be mean. He says it like like an actual excitement to see what
I
will happen.
genuinely hope your god gives you anything. Yeah. Is there anything else? Yeah.
There's no famous god or goddess of Waterdeep, is there? Because I don't know of one.
Not of Waterdeep as a city. There's gods that are more popular in Waterdeep. Like there's gods that are popular in Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
So off the top of my head,
Mistress died there, didn't she?
Yeah. Well, the current goddess of magic, Mistra, used to be a wizard called Midnight, who ascended to godhood in Waterdeep. So she's probably pretty popular because Waterdeep's kind of part of her creation story. Joaquin is a kind of a goddess of trade and coin. So like in a big metropolitan city, gods like that are probably pretty popular. Syamorph, who you've already come across in passing. Syamorph fell out of popularity in Baldur's Gate because Baldur's Gate is quite corrupt. And whilst Syamorph is a god of nobility, but not just the god of nobles, like a god of acting noble, being noble. So Syamorph's creed is kind of that people with a lot of power should use it effectively to help people that don't have a lot of money or power. So the nobles of Baldur's Gate, the patriarchs, don't like that much anymore because they like underhand deals and like dirty trading. But Waterdeep is ruled by a group called the Masked Lords. So it's kind of like elected on like kind of like these mysterious elected individuals who their identities aren't known, but they are elected from the kind of like the aristocracy, and then they each take on this masked persona in council meetings where so it's like you only know that the Masked Lords rule Waterdeep. Or there's also the Open Lord of Waterdeep, who is like on top, who is a fairly famous individual called Laurel Silverhand, who is Midnight's sister. And Midnight is the person who became the goddess of magic. Very complicated, a lot of things happening. Doesn't all make sense. Don't worry about it. Crazy world of magic. But yeah, probably like. There are like gods of things like music, so you'd probably be aware of gods that particularly enjoy music. Probably off the top of my head, Selune, which is also the name of the moon on the world you're in. So the moon above you is called Selune, but it is named after, or the god is named after the moon. She is the god of like love and beauty, and music kind of falls in with all that. Kind of like Aphrodite, if that helps. But yeah, music kind of falls into that as like an art. So yeah, you'd be aware of most of the gods. You'd be pretty aware of the gods because that you just hear about them in passing. Anya might be passingly religious, like she doesn't have a specific god she worships, but she might be, she might mutter a prayer to like a god that fits a particular situation if she was in a particular situation. But yeah. So yeah, there's a few. I'll get you a better list of any that might have particular importance to Waterdeep, if that helps. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to do on the way to Candlekeep?
I would like to cast Sending to my bow.
Go for it.
It's I'm just gonna sum it up because there's not much I want to ask. I just want to ask like how she's doing, and if she knows the rough time she's coming to the Citadel, like when about she is.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I can, plan ahead?
Yeah, just to summarize then, yeah, she'll say she's well, your sister's well. She probably already knows that you'd spoken with your dad, and she just passes on the same thing, like, I hope you're okay. And yeah, she says they're not exactly sure on dates yet. They think either like later, late this year or early next year. They haven't been told exactly when stuff is happening yet, but they expect like they've kind of got like a rough 5-month period, which is like half late this year, early next year. Yeah, nothing quite specific, just kind of a very general roundabout, waiting to be narrowed down.
Alright, that's fine.
Can I,
Just need-
on the
Summary?
3rd day, can I cast sending to the lion?
Yeah, sure.
Free. I just kind of want to say, hello, the samurai here, the bird. Just checking you're okay. Hope you're having fun. Good luck. And then I'll end it there.
Few like confused moments go by, and you hear, "Where are you? That is this magic?" Well, yes. Many thanks, Birdman. And it fizzles out.
Cool.
Anything else?
4th day.
Yeah.
We would have arrived in Candlekeep by then, wouldn't we?
Well,
Or would it be late afternoon or something?
So on the 4th day, by the 4th day, as you're kind of waking up, getting your camp together, you're now on an offshoot road called the Way of the Lion, which Candlekeep is kind of on a peninsula that juts out from the coast and from the main road. So you then like turn off onto a smaller road and go out into this peninsula. And you can see Candlekeep from quite a distance away. So we'll say from the beginning of this 4th day, you can see it kind of out on the peninsula as you walk towards it. The best way I can describe Candlekeep is in a metaphor. It's often described as a birthday cake of a very old person. So there are so many wizards that have went there and set up their own wizard's tower, that it looks like a birthday cake with just so many candles on it, that it's like spilling over the walls. So like as you see it from a distance, you really get that metaphor. It just looks like a cake where you can't even see the surface of the cake anymore because there's so many candles been put in there. And all the towers have their own unique personality. You can see that much from a distance. One of the towers has like a full ship on top of it. You see one of the towers looks to be made out of the body of a red dragon. Like all these towers, and some of them are more normal, made of stone, but like with specific like architectural flavors. Yeah, they all look very unique and strange and alien as you grow closer. Yeah, is there anything you wanted to do before you got to Candlekeep, Anya, or are you waiting till you get to there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to contact my brother, Jasper,
Okay.
Jasper, however you want to say it. Just to ask whether I'll just say it as obviously Anya. Just about to enter Candlekeep. Are you still in Cormier? And are you well? That's it, because I don't have enough.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Let me just check something. Yeah. Pretty quickly afterwards, a response comes through. Oh, Anya, good to hear your voice. Yes, I'm in Cormier. I'm in Suzale, if you wish to visit. Yes, I should be here for quite some time. You'll see. Hope to see you soon.
Where on earth is Suzale?
It's a city in Cormier is a country.
Oh, okay, right, that makes
So
sense.
if you just went to Cormier, you'd probably be still quite lost. If you were to look on a map of the, so you're going to Westgate. Westgate is on like the kind of on the south coast of the Dragonmere the Suzail is on the north coast, so you could probably get a ship from Westgate to Suzail, and it would only take like, maybe a few days, if that. So yeah, it's quite close to Westgate if you're wanting to visit. Yeah. So yeah, as you are on the Way of the Lion, and you Candlekeep gets closer and closer, a lot more of these towers come more into focus, and it becomes like a much stranger and more like obtusely magical place. Seeing a lot of this, especially for you, Samurai. I mean, it might even be like less strange for you, Samurai, kind of probably expecting this based on expecting some of these things based on reputation. There's a visual in the Google folder if you're interested, in the chapter folder. Yeah, some of them are. You see that there does appear to be like a main fortified structure in there, kind of like a keep within, like in the mix of all these towers. But yeah, the bulk of the structure within these thick walls is towers, and they all of them look completely different and unique, and like completely of their own design. It looks like the wizards like completely designed them to their own specificities, and there's all kinds of different cultures, cultural architectural styles that you catch. And yeah, as you come closer and closer, and you start arriving at the main gates. So like the great double gates of Candlekeep are 3 times the height of an average human, and wrought of strange black metal. One of the gates stands open far enough to admit visitors during the day, and the other is kept shut. So yeah, you kind of start approaching these massive double doors, made of this like black metal that you don't recognize. It looks kind of like iron, but not. It's kind of different. It looks like it has like a different density. One of the doors is slightly open, and again, they're 3 times taller than any one of you. If all 3 of you stood on each other's shoulders, then you would be as tall as one of these doors. And you see these 5 what look to be the monks, what are called the avowed of Candlekeep. These monks that kind of are the librarians that tend to the Citadel library. They're wearing these purple robes that any of you that have heard of Candlekeep, which is probably most of you, would recognize as kind of iconic, as like the uniform of the avowed. As you approach one of these purple monks wearing these purple robes, just like a pretty standard monk, human, shaved head, a little bit like kind of like the shadow of hair, so he's not like completely bald, just like you can kind of see the hair starting to grow back a bit, wearing these purple robings, kind of steps forward to greet you. Yeah, so as you 3 approach, kind of on your cart and horses, he'll kind of approach to the side as you slow to a halt. You see the other 4 kind of still in a group by the door as this one approaches you, and he kind of holds out a hand, asking you to slow. And as you do, he kind of says, "Can I help you?"
You're on the front.
I guess I'm the one talking, right? Yes, we wish to come in. We have books that you may not have, if that is of any use.
That is the price of entry. Might I see these literature that you speak of?
Yes, and I will pull out the book I got from Abbott. And I'm assuming, Jackson, you going to give your book, or are you going to keep it?
I'll keep hold of it, unless he asks for more.
Yeah, and I'll give him the book I got from the Hall of Wonders.
He reaches out. He's kind of standing to the side of your cart now. He's kind of moved from the front in front of the horses to stop you, and moved to the left to reach over and grab it. He kind of flicks through it, and he looks like you know what it looks like when someone's reading. He looks like his mind's at work as he's reading this, and then he looks over at the group of 4 monks after about a minute of flicking through the pages, and one of the monks just gives him a deep nod. And he closes it up and folds it under his arm. "This will do. You might enter and stable your horses at the stables, if that is your wish." Yes, sir.
Sorry, this is out of game. Can I make a perception check to see if all these guys look the same or look similar? Well,
Okay,
like just the same. I want to see if they're like clones, basically. Like.
Oh yeah. Make a perception check, sure.
Whilst he's doing that, I'm gonna I want to ask him like how long we can stay at a time.
No worries. Yeah. What was your roll, Jackson?
A good old-fashioned 6.
It's not a hard check because some of these are like red-skinned tieflings. Some of them are like. So yeah, they're not. They clearly, most of them shave their hair, or like some of them shave their hair, but also some of them don't. You don't know if it's like a rule or encouraged, or if it's just a stylistic choice that some of them make. The only thing that's uniform about them is the purple robe. There's just out of the 5 that you can currently see, you can see like a tiefling, a halfling, an elf. The other 2 are humans. Some are men, some are women. There doesn't appear to be any sort of like kind of set thing. They all look fairly different except for the purple robes.
Would I think that deep nod? Would Samara think that maybe there's some like magic at play here? Obviously, being Candlekeep.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, you probably think he was checking the book. While he was checking the book, someone else was checking whether it was in the library's collection. Knowing the minutiae of magic, you can probably sense he has no way of knowing this huge library's collection off by heart. He was probably feeding it to someone who was checking, and then probably a conveyor belt of things happening. Eartha, for your question, he'll kind of, as he's folding the book away and going to lead you in, he says, seekers might stay a 10-day before they are kindly asked to leave and not return for a month at least.
And the rules on books, are we allowed to take copies? Because I know obviously we won't be allowed to take originals, but is there any way of getting copies of books or chapters?
He kind of raises his hand and asks you to follow, bringing your horse and carriage. And he kind of talks to you. He kind of slows down to the side of your cart to talk to you. You will be assigned an adjutant who will give you a tour of where you can and cannot go, what you can and cannot do. He or she will tell you all of this, I assure you. And he kind of like raises a finger, and he walking out now. Like one of the avowed that was there, a male tiefling is walking back in, and walking out is a young woman, a young human woman. Looks like 18 or 19 years old, is now like replacing him in the huddle of monks outside the gate. And he says, Fembris will be your adjutant for your stay at Candlekeep. She will tell you everything you need to know, and she will help you stable your horses. And he kind of takes a few strides forward, and you see him kind of exchange a few words with her, and then he joins the group, and she comes out to join you. And she looks a lot less. That guy kind of came across as like, he's kind of just repeating the same old spiel. He probably does this quite a lot. She seems a lot younger. She hasn't been doing this for a while. As she approaches, she seems she's got like a bright smile. She looks like eager to please. She looks like she's trying to be very warm. And she's like, "Hey, good to meet you. Can I help you stable your horses? You want to stable your horses, right?"
Yeah.
Cool, very good. If you all just jump down. And she kind of takes one of them by the reins, and she'll lead you guys through the main gates of Candlekeep. And once you pass through those main gates, you're in a huge courtyard, which she tells you is colloquially called the Court of Air. It's just a massive courtyard with like gravel and sand on the ground. It's walled in, obviously, and there are buildings along the walls. So along the north wall is a bunch of kind of squat towers, but of different heights, all with flat roofs. There are a few buildings kind of separated along the east and south wall. And there is also on the far side of the Court of Air, there is this emerald green door that appears to be sealed. And you can see all of the more interesting towers of Candlekeep. Beyond that, it looks like you don't currently have access to the wizards' towers. You just have this kind of public face area, which you have access to. But yeah, she's horses at the Smithian stables. But before you get to the Smithian stables, you pass the bath and steam house, which she tells you avowed and seekers alike use this building as a place to relax. Spacious rooms in the building contain heated pools for respite while engaging in casual conversation or debate with others. Side chambers hold hot saunas and massage parlors. So this is kind of like a relaxing place. As you go past that, she explains it. And then you arrive at the stables, which she tells you is also a smithy. And then she stables up your horses. The next place you walk past is a temple of Ogma. This modest stone temple is dedicated to the god of knowledge. 4 large stone gargoyles perch on the cornices and gaze down protectively.
Can I quiver as I see the gargoyles? It's like an innate, luring.
Yeah, you look at them and you kind of turn your eye, like avert your gaze a bit and try to stiffen up and walk away a bit quicker. The next place you passed is the House of Rest. If you were to look on a map of Candlekeep, which are in our Google Drive, you're kind of just moving. I'm just explaining to you in order of the places you pass naturally. The House of Rest. This 3-story bunkhouse provides seekers with a place to rest and store gear. The rustic accommodation includes both private rooms and common rooms. In addition to comfortable lodgings, the House of Rest offers guests peace and quiet. Noisy patrons are directed to the hearth if they want to continue their revels. And then the next place you pass is the Hearth, which is kind of like a tavern. From outside, the Hearth appears to be a modest tavern of sturdy construction, with warm light emanating from a pair of small windows on either side of the front door. Upon entering the establishment, visitors quickly realize that it's 3 times more spacious on the inside. The next place you pass is the House of the Binder. A seeker can request a copy of any book or scroll in the library, and the work of creating copies is performed by scribes in the House of the Binder. The entire text must be replicated, since the Avowed insist on maintaining the scholarly intent and integrity of the original author. Then the next place you pass is this Emerald Door. So the Emerald Door, the main point of access to the inner ward, stands at the western end of the Court of Air. It is 15 feet tall and made of translucent dark green stone that glows with an inner light. Here, a keeper of the Emerald Door stands at all times to welcome newly arrived seekers. You kind of just say a polite hello as he's going past, and he sees Thembris giving you the tour. The next, now you're kind of approaching these towers that you have access to, but you walk past it in like the northwest corner of the Court of Air, and the erudite outfitters and clothiers. Seekers and members of the Avowed can buy new robes or have their well-worn clothes mended at this modest exchange. And then the final place, and the most important place for your stay, is the Pillars of Pedagogy. Seekers engage in quiet study and research with this austere cluster of huddled flat-top towers of varying heights. Each tower contains private rooms available by reservation only that feature permanent silence spells, allowing their occupants to read without disturbance. Most research conducted by us happens in these towers. Seekers at the Pillars must rely on their Avowed guides to retrieve or return specific works from the Great Library to assist with their research. And the other, she'll also, as she's been giving you like this tour around the court, she'll kind of tell you about the wards of Candlekeep, and the orders of accordance, which are kind of like the laws or the rules. So she, not realizing you've already been told, she'll tell you again that you're allowed to stay for a 10-day, so 10 days, and then you're asked to leave and not return for at least a month. The wards on Candlekeep, so there is a magic restriction which prevents anyone from entering Candlekeep by any route other than through the front gates, and flight is strictly prohibited. Flames larger than a candle are magically suppressed with few exceptions. All works are magically protected against theft, and the library fortress can become enveloped in an impenetrable protective shield if the need should arise, if it was ever under attack. And the orders of accordance are no fighting, no stealing, no copying, and no damaging, marking, or otherwise modifying of the works in the library's collection.
So you can't make your own notes?
You can make notes, you just can't copy large... if you are like... like if you tried to sneak something into an essay, like... do you remember... this is niche for us, but do you remember like our performing arts essays where you could bring in like 2 pages of notes? If you were to try and like... if you are just copying straight out of a textbook, you'd be using up unnecessary space. You're not allowed to just copy directly. You can like take notes. Like if it was like, oh, this place is referred to as blank. Like if it was like Baldur's Gate is referred to as the City of Blood, you could jot down like Baldur's Gate equals City of Blood. Like you can take notes, you just can't copy.
You can't plagiarize.
Per se. Yeah, you've got to you've got to maintain the integrity of the original work. So yeah, you can do research and take notes, but you can't just copy large parts without.
What about spells?
Yep.
Are you able to like take notes on how spells are done, or would I have to get them? Would I have to pay someone to copy them out for me properly?
I'm not sure what you mean. So the House of the Binder is will copy you scroll. If you mean like get new spells, the House of the Binder is where you you can't like copy spells from the library. You can't even. There's not even spells in the library. You would buy them from the House of the Binder, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you have any questions for Fembris? So to describe her a bit, yeah, she's like 18 or 19 years old, kind of pale, chalky white skin, no real facial features. She's kind of got like light pink lips, no freckles or anything, kind of thin eyebrows, hair like brown hair tied up into a ponytail, and she's kind of got like she's got spectacles on, kind of round spectacles she seems just very eager to kind of impress or please. She seems like she's like just trying to do the best she can. So she's very eager to answer any questions if you have any. Otherwise, that kind of concludes your tour. And if you guys want to go and do research, she'll ask you what you want to do research, and she'll bring books for you. Jess, did you have something you want to say?
I'd like to ask her whether she knows as to the whereabouts of, I don't know how to pronounce her surname. It's Hallory.
Hallory Nashashal. It's a
Nashashal. And Alcris. I don't know his surname, but yeah I just want to ask her whether she knows the whereabouts of either of them.
You see, when you say those two names, you see like she recognizes both of them. She recognizes Alcris far more. You see like when you say Halari, you see like a vague recognition. And then you mention Alcris, and she's like, "Oh, Alcris is a big deal around here. He's one of the top guys. Yeah, I can. Are you looking for an audience? I can find out if Halari's here. I can check the register. Are you guys looking for meetings with these people?"
Halari's the Dragonborn, isn't he? Or is this the...
No, Alcris is the Dragonborn.
Hallory's the moon elf?
Yeah.
Who we need to go talk to.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, Halari is the moon elf who Rivelin owed a favor to. Alcris is the bronze dragonborn, friend of the Citadel, because he's an expert in military history, military strategy, famous battles, that sort of thing. So yeah, she's like,
can I try and like jump in a bit and go, I'm just gonna say the moon elf because I can't even remember the name. Could we see and talk to her by any chance? We can decide later on whether we need to talk to Alcris.
Yeah, I can go and ask the keeper at the door, and he can go and send a runner to go and find her. I'm sure one of those towers is probably hers, and she's kind of gazing out onto the main, the section of towers you don't have access to in the inner ward of Candlekeep. And she can probably come and meet you out here because you won't be allowed inside. But if she's expecting you, do you want me to? Is she expecting you? Should I say something?
Could you say that we're here on behalf of Riverland?
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll pass it on. Just wait here. And she kind of skitters off to that guy who had been standing in front of this emerald door. And you see they have a brief conversation, and he gives her a similar like nod. And someone else runs up, and he kind of talks to them, and they go through the door and off to find Halari. But she returns. Mm-hmm.
Is there when she walks off, is there no one else around us so we can talk freely?
Yeah, you've got like 2 or 3 minutes where there's no one.
Yeah, can I quickly just kind of say like, If we haven't decided on the stone yet, I don't know. I know he wanted me to take it to Elchrist, but I just don't know if it's the correct decision. Unless you have your own reason for meeting him, obviously.
I have absolutely not. Fair enough.
Yep. So what do you guys do?
Just wait for the woman, I guess.
Yeah. There's no fighting or anything, right? So there'd be no reason for me to keep my armor on or keep my weapons on me.
Yeah, there's the fighting. So the orders of accordance were no fighting, no stealing, no direct copying, no damaging, marking, or otherwise modifying works. So yeah, there's no. You don't need to keep your armor on or your weapons on you. You can like go and get your room in the House of Rest and just leave all your unnecessary stuff in your rooms if you like.
When I get a chance, I'm going to do that. However, I'm going to keep my sword on me just in case.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a
They don't take anything off you. Yeah, it's not like they're not like you can't carry that here. It's more like, you are heavily outnumbered. So if you were to start anything, you wouldn't win. So it doesn't really matter, kind of thing. So yeah, you can go and arrange to dump your stuff in the House of Rest in your bunk rooms, and yeah, if that's what you wish. When Fembris returns, she'll accommodate that, and she'll go and organize that for you. And she'll also tell you when you're ready to just, to like find her, then find her so she can reserve a room for them in the Pillars of Pedagogy in the research rooms. And then you guys can give her a list of subjects you want to do research on, and she'll go to the library and get books for you and then bring them to you in the research rooms. And then once you're done, you can give them back if you have any more things. She's been assigned to you while you stay here. So she's kind of just, she's like your liaison while you're here. But as you guys are leaving stuff, you get your rooms in the House of Rest and you're kind of dumping stuff. If you're taking off your armor, just so you're not lugging it around. You're kind of just wearing like a normal street clothes now, like a normal overshirt, walking shirt, kind of just like normal pants, walking boots, not like heavy metal armor anymore. You see the same runner that had went off into the inner ward finds Fembris, and they exchange a few words, and she says, Hilari says she can meet you tonight or tomorrow. Your preference?
I'll turn to the other two and like reassure, like, do you want to do tonight or tomorrow?
I have no issue with either day.
Should we just do tonight then? Cool.
So-
We'll arrange tonight.
Would you like her to meet you here or at the tavern or out in the open? Is there anywhere specific?
Maybe at the tavern.
Very good.
Tavern.
And the runner is like, I got it, and he heads off again to go and deliver your message. We'll say you agreed upon a time like 7ish, something like that. Something that's not too late, not too early. So by now, by the time you've gotten to Candlekeep, it's probably, it was probably late afternoon. So we'll say once you guys have dumped all your stuff in your rooms, it's about 5. So you've got 2 hours to kill if there's anything you'd like to do. Or if you guys just want to go to the tavern and wait around, it's up to you guys. Or you can start your research.
How long would it take to get a full book copied?
A full book copied? Quite a while. I'll get you the exact information handily from Candlekeep Mysteries. Non-magical tomes. The copying and binding of a typical book in Candlekeep's library generally costs 100 gold pieces or so, double for a translated version. The large books incur an additional charge. The manufacture of facsimile takes weeks or even months for large tomes, so those who desire such a work must commission it in writing, provide payment in advance, and then return to the front gates to pick up the book or pay an additional price to have it delivered.
How much would the additional price be to get delivered? Because I don't think we're going to be here.
It depends where, because if you're in Baldur's Gate, less than if you're in Westgate.
True.
Yeah. If I have spare time before we do our meeting, I'd like to go up to our whatever, like personal assistant, I guess is a way to call her.
She's an avowed adjutant is what they referred to her as. So she's like your liaison guide, tour guide, assistant while you're here.
Can I just ask about spells and getting copies of spells to add to my arsenal?
Yeah, sure. We'll say, yeah, she's providing you with that in kind of the same range. So you would also go to the House of the Binder, where if I was asking about non-magical tomes. So spell books, a copy of a spell book costs 50 gold pieces per level of spells contained within it. For example, a spell book that contains 2 third-level spells, 4 second-level spells, and 6 first-level spells costs 1,000 gold pieces to copy over to a new book. So yeah, it's like, yeah.
What about cantrips? Oh, cantrips.
They don't go in a spell book, I don't think.
Okay, right.
I think they're
So
committed to
that'll be
memory.
100, 200, plus 150 is 350 gold. Out of game here. Alice,
Yeah,
just,
no.
can I spend 350 gold on spells?
If you allow me to use a bit of money to get the book delivered.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't mind.
I mean, I can pay for the book, as in I have 101 gold left.
I mean,
My
I'm
own
gonna
pocket.
put my 20 gold towards it as well. So I won't be just using yours, Alice. Right.
Jess, you got anything
Brad.
you need out the money before it's all gone?
I mean, I'm not even keeping track of how much money we've got. So just
I don't
No,
keep track.
spend as much as
Obviously,
you want.
I've got like the dragon's money, but then I've got like my own personal money, which you should
I don't-
have some left on your sheet.
I think I've got 270 gold pieces at the moment.
I got 20, but I spend a lot. I make a lot of spells. Brad, can I
gave
ask...
you money as well. Some
Yeah,
of the
I
money
know.
you spent was mine.
The
You
money
made
I
your
spent
shield.
off you was on your shield.
That's
Plus 30. I made 30 gold profit. Brad,
Yeah,
could I ask
we
how
should do.
much it would how much it would cost to get 2 second level spells and 1 third level spell copied up? And also, could I ask if she could get it done directly into my spellbook?
50 gold pieces per level of spell contained within it. So it would be. So what was it again?
2 seconds and 1 third. So that'll be 4. That'll be seven levels. So is that 700 half is 350?
Yeah, separate them out. So for 1 second level, it would be 100 gold. So it's 2 second levels, so it's 200.
Plus 150 for a third level, which is 350.
Yeah. So it would cost 350, and they could do it in your spellbook, but you wouldn't have access to your spellbook for like a day or two while they were scribing it.
Could I arrange that, like now, like on the night, and just give her my spellbook?
Yeah, she can either take it over for you and have it arranged, or you can go with her. It's up to you.
I'll just I've told her the spells. I'll get the money. Ufa, that's 330. You've got to take off. I've given her 20.
Yeah,
yeah,
no worries.
that's all sorted.
Yeah, so she'll be like, I'll be back in 20 minutes, half an hour, if you guys need anything else, and she runs off to go and deliver you also know where the House of the Binder is, so it's like you don't know, it's not like you don't know where it is. You can go and check up on it and like say what like give them your ticket, say your name, and yeah, she returns a short while later. Is there anything else you want to do before you go to meet
Yes.
Hilari?
I would like her to copy up a book on firearms, specifically like how to maintain a firearm and how to use a firearm.
You haven't.
If there is
so
a book.
that would, when you ask for your research topics, when you get that book, you'd then be like, I want a copy of this.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you can probably do that if you want to start researching like late tonight or tomorrow. Then you can feel free to do that then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll be
Let's
fine.
go meet this woman.
I mean, what? I've got 3 topics I want to look at.
I've got a lot.
I know you will, because you're a wizard. I've just thought of 3.
None of mine are about spells. Not one of them is spell related.
Okay. So did you say you were going down to the tavern to kill the rest of the time before Hilari comes?
Yeah.
I
ask-
yeah.
When I go in, can I ask the barman for a non-alcoholic, whatever it was from Baldur's Gate?
Roll rum.
Yeah, a roll rum.
Yeah, sure. So yeah. when you go in, it's kind of jarring for a minute as you immediately recognize the inside space does not match the outside dimensions. You know, there's like an extra dimensional space in here that it's bigger inside. There is like an intricate clockwork device suspended in a 2-foot diameter, faintly glowing crystal orb embedded in the ceiling of the bar, over the bar. The Avowed call this device a geometric amplifier. It is the source of the magic required to maintain the integrity of the enlarged space. The bar seats up to 20 customers, and patrons can also be seated comfortably at round tables with stout wooden chairs or at rectangular tables with benches. A dozen soft, cushy armchairs encircle the fireplace in the center of the room. So as you guys are kind of getting, do you want to sit at a circle table, armchairs at the fire, or long table, like long picnic tables?
I'll leave it up to Urfa.
Me? I'm leaving it up to Jess.
Say circle table.
There we go.
Yeah, cool. And Samara, as you go to get the drinks, as you start explaining the drink, like you say, like, can I have a non-alcoholic roll? And the guy at the bar is like, I don't know what that is.
What do you have?
I got ale. I got red wine. It's Baldurian. I think I got some Water Davian White in the back. We got rum.
Can I have a glass of Water Davian white wine and also 2 rums?
Yeah, very good. 2 gold. Yeah, it's not a lot.
Grab it off Urfa.
I say to the broke boy.
I've got none.
Samara comes back a moment later with a glass of Water Davian white wine and 2 tankards of ale, and he kind of sets them down on the table.
Yeah, I'll give Jess the white ale because it's Water Davian. Thought it would.
White ale.
Yeah, white wine.
Anya, you would recognize Water Davian White. It's it's a brand within Waterdeep that's quite popular because it's produced there. So it kind of tastes like home a little bit as you sip on it. The ale is quite crap. It's cheap ale, but it's good enough. Is there anything you want to go over before Hilari shows up, or are you just waiting for Hilari?
Idle chit chat, just the nice keeping the conversation flowing kind of a thing. Ask Jess how her song. Ask Anya how her song's going along.
Sorry, something distracted me.
I'll start.
Like they should
joking.
make. I feel like. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I'll start making casual jokes about what's the next big animal we're gonna end up fighting.
I reckon a rock.
The rock. What were you saying, Jess?
I was gonna say they could make just like, just a little bit of chit chat about the combat with Damon, and just kind of be quite surprised by the fact they defeated him and just how it went on for so long and things like that. Just having a bit of a conversation about that and talking about the next Keys person that they'll need to fight or something.
On that note, Samara, what's happening with the key? Where are you keeping it? Are you wearing it, or are you keeping it shoved away somewhere?
I'm keeping it in the bag.
Wait, which bag?
Keeping it in the bag of holding?
No, in my bag.
I was gonna say don't keep it in the bag of holding, because I'm not having that snatched. Whereas if it's on you, it's not as.
I've got my bag and the stone. Any person with detect magic's gonna be like, what is in there? It's a lot of magical energy.
That's a whole lot of magic.
Yeah, as you guys are kind of discussing, Damon, the key, if you're asking about his song, you hear like the door kind of open briefly and then close. And you see a tall figure, kind of in a delicate dark green hood, enter. And now that she's inside, she takes the hood down, and you see this very like strikingly beautiful, slender moon elf. So kind of got like light blue kind of light, like in between light and dark blue skin, very pronounced cheekbones and facial features, kind of what would be long white hair that is kind of put up into a bun with two strands that fall down and frame either side of her face, and she's kind of got these silvery white freckles spattered across her face that look like almost like stars on the color of her skin. She's wearing kind of scholarly robings. She also has kind of like darker blue lips, kind of like how Anya has kind of beige skin and then pink lips. Eartha, you have brown skin and then darker lips. Kind of that same thing happens with the blue as it fades as it darkens in the lips. She kind of has these very piercing, completely different shade of blue eyes, very like icy blue eyes. And as she kind of looks over the tavern, she kind of spies the three of you and seems to recognize you on description, and very delicately approaches. She's wearing kind of what appears to be like a mix of like half this like dark brown black leather armor and just like normal wizardly kind of scholarly clothing, with like these long dark boots, which you kind of hear the clack of her coming as she's walking over, and some of you kind of turn to notice her approach as she just kind of stands at the edge of your table and says, "Might I sit?" She moves in. Actually, Samara, not that it particularly matters, but is Jade back in the room, or would you have brought Jade with you?
Jade will be with me. Probably is like just stood.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, she takes a seat next to whoever scoots up. She kind of like pulls, like, now that she's put her hood down when she entered, she kind of takes off her cloak and folds it next to her on the bench, or on the stool. Actually, she'll kind of sit. You're at the circle table, so you'll kind of sit up. She'll kind of sit up and sit on top of it, almost like a cushion. I was told you were here. Something about Riverlin.
Yes. Basically, you see, and I'll point to Jade. Probably something you're familiar with if you know him. When we first met him, we couldn't quite afford it, so we agreed to do a couple jobs for him, and one of them was come here and settle a favour he had with you. Apparently he owed you one.
Mm-hmm. She kind of like, she gives like a, Samurai, you probably, actually, you know what, let's actually play D&D. I keep forgetting we're playing a game. Roll perception checks.
Oh my
Keep
god,
forgetting
I've
when
got
I'm just
great
doing
perception.
improv.
My perception's brilliant.
But your rolls are always terrible.
Yeah. Do you remember when I had my last perception check?
8.
It was a 6 because I rolled a
6.
3. Last week
well,
I rolled a 3 on perception.
26.
26, Samura.
And this week I rolled a 3 on perception, so that's another 6.
Anya?
16.
16. Okay, so making sense. Samura, you're 4 years old and also a foreign bird person, so you're not really... social interaction was never your strong suit. But Eartha, you really get a... Actually, well, Anya, being a bard, knowing story, you're always socializing with people. It's your whole bread and butter, really. She gives her reaction to, like, Rivelin says he owed you a debt, and we've come to, like, pay that. She kind of gives, like, a very, like an avant-garde, kind of like, she understands what you're saying, but she's also got a look of, like, how peculiar. She gives, like, a polite chuckle as she kind of smiles to the side. Eartha, as you kind of take, like, a long sip of ale, you're like, these guys have definitely boned. You can like smell it. You can like feel it in the air. You're like, something's happened here. Like the way she kind of moves her head and smiles, kind of like averting her eyes and kind of moving her head down. It's almost like a sentimentality. Like with that high of a roll, with the 26, there's like, she's like, it makes us sentimental for a moment, and not in to you it doesn't look like the way that like a friend gets sentimental about a friend. There looks to be feelings of romance intertwined in there. And she said, but then she continues to she speaks after you've told her why you're here, and she says, I require nothing at the moment, but I do appreciate the offer. You can tell Rivlin that he might consider his debt fulfilled to me.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, I can't think of anything truly, and unfortunately, it is not in my power to allow you through the Emerald Door. And even if it was, all you could really truly do for me is engage in some experiments, and that would far more be in my benefit than any of yours.
Experiments we talk.
Alchemical, magical, the kinds that sometimes accidentally turn people inside out. Not the most pleasant thing, but I'm a better caster than that. Also, so I tell people. She kind of she glances at Anya and sees the wine, and she kind of shouts off, "Another Waterdavian white, please." And very quickly, much quicker than Samura, when you were at the bar, you got the drinks. The bartender brings the drink to her at your table much quicker than when you were even at the bar. You get it's probably mostly a mix of like, she's a very pretty woman, but also she seems to be she's a permanent resident here. She's a historian in residence here, so she's kind of got like, you guys are strangers. This person is a known face, a known individual, and she sips on that as well. Yes, I'm afraid there's nothing specific you can do for me right now, though I do truly appreciate you coming all this way. I do hope you had other reasons for coming.
If you're sure, okay, I don't know if Rivlin will quite believe me, but is there any chance you could cast Sending to tell him that? He seemed quite assured that we would have to, do something for you.
Of course. One moment. She kind of stands and she kind of walks over to the hearth and like warms her hands a bit. And you see her kind of having a conversation. Earth, are you reading her lips? I could see.
As long as it's in a language I can understand. Yeah.
Ellis, do like a wry smile again. Do that wry smile again.
But which one?
Move your hand away and you had like a look on your face like you look like the old man from Up. Like with those glasses on when you're doing that smile. It's very specific.
But the worst thing is, I look like my granddad when he was my age. Like
your granddad.
No wrong with that.
No, I look identical to him.
I've got a picture of him on my bedroom wall.
Not that one.
Oh, different granddad.
Yeah.
Wow, you look like both your granddads. Interesting.
Yeah.
What
language are you speaking in actually before?
She's speaking common.
Oh.
You see, actually, that's a good question. No, I'll say she's speaking in common.
I mean, if it was Elvish, I still understand. If it was Dwarfish, I understand. If it was Draconic, I understand.
Elvish.
You know what?
I understand Elvish.
It's going to be an Elvish. It's going to be an Elvish. I don't want to take it away from you, but I think it would be an Elvish. Anya and Samura, to be fair, you can probably hear a little bit of this anyway, because she's not hiding it. But Eartha, you can read everything she's saying from her lips.
I know Elvish as well.
Yeah. Eartha's just reading her lips, though.
Right, okay.
In kind of summation, she kind of says like, "Hello, Rivlin. It's been a long time. I hope you're keeping well. I trust you'll give me some updates soon. Hope everything is going well. Your friends have visited me. I've forgiven their debt. I hope you'll visit soon. Farewell." Kind of that in summation. Not exactly that, but like in summation. I don't know if that was probably more than 25 words, but that kind of thing, if that makes sense. And then she returns to the table. She seems to just be enjoying. You get the sense a lot of these avowed monks and historians probably don't have a lot of social interaction. So she seems kind of eager to stay here. But even though your business is concluded, she's like, anyway, where were you? Like, she kind of returns to the table and she's like, well, is there anything I can help you with while I'm here?
I'll just. If she looks like she really wants to have like a conversation, and looks like she's,
She
not
does.
interacting.
She looks like
for a
she's
while.
trying to hide it. Like, she looks like she doesn't want to come off as desperate, especially because she carries herself almost like a no, and she looks like she's well aware. She's kind of like not just attractive, but because she's a moon elf and she has like those silvery she's like an otherworldly beauty. Like, she looks like she's trying not to come across as desperate, but she's very much like, I would like to talk. I would like to keep talking.
I'll start talking to like to these two, but like also like involving it. Like, when you recap a story to someone who's there, but then you also kind of like turn to the person who wasn't there, who's not as involved, try to like get them hyped about it. And I'll start talking about like our encounter with a dragon. And I'll start talking about the dragon and like about how two dragons dueled and how we managed to get from the horde and really make it sound cool and like kind of like get her involved with it.
She seems to like, she finishes the Water Davian White fairly quickly, and she has another round ordered, but this time, she has another round ordered for everyone, and she seems to enjoy the storytelling. Yeah, she make a performance check actually, Samura.
Whilst this is going on, I'm going to ask her. You wouldn't happen to know anyone who's interested in, purchasing a dragon egg, would you?
Sure. Samura, what was that roll?
The one time, and I swear to God, this was not the moment to rule well, but an unnatural 20. It's unnatural 20, but still.
Yeah, you really come at Anya. You're like, there's a potential for a bard in there somewhere. He really gets into it. He has a whole musical number in there in the middle about if they're sending people to sleep on the road. He has a whole little dance he's been working on. He really gets into it. And she's into it. She asks questions. She asks you to elaborate. She laughs fairly heartily. She seems fairly involved, very interested. Eartha, when you kind of mention that, she's like, a dragon egg. I should assume there might be someone here who would know more, but I could ask some of my colleagues if anyone has an interest, if that fits you.
That would be great, thank you.
Very good, of course.
Also, do you ever leave the tower? Like, this place, do you ever go into the outside world? Are you always here?
I'm here a lot of the time. You see, she wasn't tipsy. She was like whatever the step before tipsy. She's kind of like giggly from the wine almost. And she's like, but now she becomes much more focused. And she's like, well, my research focuses on the ancient elves. Most of my research focuses on the Dale lands and Cormanthor, and Mithranor and other such places to the east. So sometimes I have Downingtons there, magically, of course. I teleport there for a few days, a few weeks, whatever my research demands, and then I return. And sometimes I manage to get to other elven sites that aren't, not in that area, but they're not as big in number. I haven't been to anywhere like Baldur's Gate in a while. Last time I was there, I made a few friends, Rivelin being one, but I haven't been anywhere like Waterdeep or Neverwinter in some time.
Why not go?
Say again?
Why not go? I mean, you can teleport, you can just pop there for a day if you wanted.
I could, yes, but my research is very demanding and I'm not the best at talking to people. I get nervous having to do that. So when people come to me, she kind of gestures at all of you, makes that process a lot easier. I don't know what I'd do somewhere like that. Most of my life has been spent in, and she kind of like tucks one of her loose strands of hair behind an ear. Most of my life has been spent in ruins and forests, and I don't feel as home in the city, but I enjoy it when I get the chance, of course.
Can I ask, Why do you Can I ask if imagine yearly you took 1 week and you just stopped working that week? How badly do you think it would affect your work?
Well, I suppose in truth I don't make breakthroughs that often.
Do you not think it would be worth maybe having a holiday? You said you met some friends along the road. You could spend the week visiting them all.
I haven't seen my best friend in years, but
I mean,
uh,
I'm sure Rivlin would show you around if you ask him nicely enough.
me and Rivlin have a complicated relationship, and well, I suppose not anymore now that I've forgiven his debt. I'm making a drunk roll.
We're
She
really
kinda
trying
lean-
it.
She kind of leans in, and she almost like her arm nudges her glass of wine, and it goes to fall, and she kind of capers for it and grabs it just before it falls. And she takes another sip, and then she leans in again, pushing the glass out, not to spill it. And she says, "The reason he owes me a favor is because he forgot my last birthday. So I don't know what he told you. I don't know if he told you I don't know. He tends to embellish things. Tends to." And she kind of stops for a moment, and she says, "Did he tell you how he lost his hand?"
I noticed there was some necrotic energy, but he does not take off the gloves nowadays.
Well, he likes to tell people Blackhand is his real surname, but it's more of a moniker given to him. It's all shriveled, more like a claw, I suppose. Really, it's not as he wears the gloves a lot. He's more ashamed of it than other people react to it, I think. But he suggests that it rotted during some duel with a demon, but I don't know how much I believe of that. He probably told you the debt he owed me was for, I don't know. He was probably doing something heroic, and I didn't forgive it, or I kept something over his head. He tends to embellish, but he's a good man. He tends to embellish, and she keeps drinking.
I don't think
Can
he
I-
ever told us. I
No,
think
he
this
didn't.
Is,
Can
this
I-
is in character. Like, I generally don't think he told us.
Can
kind
I-
of kept questions to a minimum.
Well, then you didn't hear it from me. And she keeps sipping away.
Can I nudge her on the shoulder and go, "Yes, a man's pride of his own reputation is usually his greatest downfall."
She kind of she'll make a perception check.
What? Why am I getting
Oh,
nudged
by
for
the way.
this? Have I forgotten something that happened?
She rolled quite low. She's kind of like looking at the bottom of her wine glass, and she looks up again, and she says, maybe you're right. Maybe I should go visit some friends. Wonder where Aurora is these days. Well, where are you? Sorry?
First of all, we're sleeping over at the, and I'll point to what it's called, because I don't remember its name.
House
and
of
also,
West.
yeah, we're just sleeping over at the House of Wests for the night. Probably staying a bit longer, doing some research. But may I just suggest, maybe you sleep for a night, and then go see your friends.
Of course, I have to go and I need to see if anyone's interested in your egg. But of course. Well, so what's next for you? Where are you all going? By the sounds of your story, Candlekeep seems to be the end of the line.
No, there's a couple of things here and there, a couple of demons, Cyricists to deal with. Westgate,
What is it?
Ammon, a couple of
Westgate?
places. Yeah, yes.
She kind of does a hoarse chuckle, this is fate. This is fate. And she kind of slams her hands on the table. You're just telling me I should visit my friends. My best friend, you might have heard of her, Aurora. She's kind of famous. She has an outlet in Westgate. I think that's where she spends most of her time.
Well, if you're planning on going, we have a couple of books and stuff. We're trying to get copies and written up. If you could accelerate that would be great. But also, we'd be forever just grateful if you could teleport us there when you go as well, if it is sometime soon.
She kind of does this shrill eek, like an excited woof. She's like, I am very glad I met you all tonight. Yes, I'll contact her and ask if I can pop in soon, and I'll tell her I wish to bring you. You guys would have probably all heard of Aurora. Aurora's Emporium is a branch of stores. There's a lot in Waterdeep. There's one in Westgate. There's a few in Neverwinter, a few in the bigger cities. They're all connected by teleportation circles, kind of famously. It's kind of like a Sears or like an Argos, where there's like a catalogue and you go in with an order you've picked out, and then they teleport to the warehouse, like this unknown location warehouse, and then bring it back for you to take. So yeah, she seems very excited. She seems like all the stars have kind of aligned for her. Like you've come in and been like, oh, you should visit your friends. And then it just so happens that's also where you're going next. And so she's like, this must be fate. She seems very excited.
We'll be here pretty much every night by the looks of it for the next 10 days. So, if you're ever lonely, like you seem you might be, you can always come down and have a drink.
You could have said it as not an insult.
I don't mean it as an insult. I just mean it like...
It also sounds like you're flirting. So,
go for it.
No, I was
you
just
haven't got a girlfriend.
Make a...
Constitution.
I'm trying to think of what's...
Wait, what are you having me do here?
I'm seeing, because you've all been drinking, so based on those words, I'm seeing whether she thinks you're flirting with her.
Insight.
You make it's not persuade. You make a charisma check, and she's gonna make an insight check. Okay.
Kind of hope she does think you're flirting, but it could mess it up.
Got an 18.
18. Okay. That's unfortunately high. As you kind of say, like, if you're ever lonely, she's like, hey, I'm sorry, but you're barking up the wrong tree.
I'm gonna look so confused and just look at the bird. Not my bird.
Do I notice? Do I
What are
notice
birds?
what's happened between them two?
Make an intelligence check with advantage because you're not so inept.
What the fuck, dude? 14.
I was gonna say 10 or high. It's not. She basically spelled it out. She said, yeah. So like, it's not like implied. She said like, she clearly misunderstood what Eartha was saying.
Not to burst anyone's bubble, but I think he was trying to invite you down to chat with all of us. We can have more nights like tonight.
And I apologize. What do you drink? Eartha.
I don't know anything really.
But also, that sounds like a pickup line.
Well, no, because at the moment I get given whatever Jackson's bought, so I don't know what I've been drinking.
You've had rum.
Another mug of anything. Yeah. And a few moments later, slower than when she orders for herself, the tavern. Blah, 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 blah. I'm forgetting words.
Ale.
The barkeep. Thank you. The barkeep brings over a mug of whatever you want, ale, rum, whatever you like. Sets down in front of you as a quick apology, and she fingers some more gold to him because she's kind of starting to rack up a little bit of a debt. Yeah. So she says, "So you're settled on Canopy then? I'll talk to Aurora tonight or tomorrow, and I'm sure we can organize something. But yes, I appreciate the invite. I'd enjoy hanging out with you guys if that's all right. Are you looking for anything else here in Canopy? Is there anything I can help with?"
I don't believe so. We have something of a personal assistant helping us track down information here and there in the library.
She kind of looks over, and Fembris is just kind of in the corner of the room, like at a distance, just hanging out. Like,
wait, is she just sat watching us?
Yeah, like
that's
she's
creepy.
Like, yeah, because she's not like your friend, but she's just like she's got to stay with you, so she's just kind of like next to the hearth, kind of chilling. And as you kind of mention her, she's like,
"Can I call her over?"
I was about to say I don't feel comfortable having her in the corner. Just on her own.
Can I call her over?
When you say her name, she very eagerly. Actually, wait. Do you think Samurai would remember her name?
No, not once, not at all. No.
What do you call over?
personal assistant. I don't know. After a couple of drinks
it's
too.
Fembris. And she runs over and she like stands above you and she's like, it's Fembris. Fembris. Fembri. It's Fembris.
Okay. Okay. Can you grab a chair
Laura
and
Lancer.
sit down?
Ooh, and she kind of like boots a guy off a chair at the next table over and just drags it over, and sits. She sits in between you and Eartha. She like just kind of crams it right in wherever you've been sitting.
I'll shout to the barkeep, and then like midway ordering a drink, I'll say like, what do you want?
No one's ever asked me that before. Red. No, white. No, red. Yeah, red.
I'll shout to the barkeep, 1 red and 1 white.
You're a genius.
And I'll look to her and go, look, it's, for future, maybe don't stand in the corner staring at the people you're meant to be looking after.
My boss told me that as well, but I feel more uncomfortable asking if I can sit with people, so I understand, but I'm also probably not gonna do that.
Okay,
but I understand.
For tonight, at least, you are not a assistant or whatever they call you. Tonight, you are a friend.
Avowed student.
Do you remember her name?
Tonight, you are a friend. Personal assistant lady.
Fembris Larlancer. That's
At this point,
Fembrislarlancer.
At this point, like, Samaraw's pretty drunk. He's had like 3 or 4 rums with Eartha, and like matching Eartha for Samara is not working. He's like trying to make everyone friends.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Sure. When the wines come over, she like nudges you, Samara, and she's like, "My mom told me this," and she pours them together and says, "Rosé." And then she takes a sip and she's like, "Nah, it's not rosé."
I'll take a sip and see what it's like.
They're 2 flavors that were purposefully created as different things that now occupy the same space. It's like eating 2 pleasant things that don't go together. Like,
am I drunk enough to make it work?
It's not unedible. Like, it's not disgusting. It's just like very pungent. Very grapey, very powerful, as it kind of bounces around in your palate. Yeah.
I'll slide it back along to her and go, "Oh, that's like the stuff Eartha likes to drink."
You're friends with a weirdo.
I'm drinking the same thing you are.
But typically you drink ale, and Samara does not drink ale.
And she just keeps politely sipping on it. And then, like, when like a kid bites a lemon and they do like a sour face, she just kind of keeps doing that.
What's the legal age in Faerun to drink?
I mean, it's kind of medieval rules where you say legal age and they say we marry 12-year-olds, but not quite that bad.
Whenever you want.
Like, it's kind of like country rules. Like, if the cops aren't around, it doesn't really like, there's not really rules. It's just like, like royal children would probably drink wine at feasts and stuff. Like, it depends where you are, like what situation you're in. In terms of the situation you're in right now, probably the standard would probably be like 15-ish. Like, in a normal tavern, probably like 15 is probably the standard.
Alright, that's fine. Just checking.
Yeah, I think.
So Jack to stop drinking.
I'm 18 by human laws.
Dog year rules.
Dog year rules. I'll then cut now to my second story of the night, and I'll, like, midway through the story where it comes to their parts, I'll point at Eartha and Anya to like fill their bits in, and I'll start talking about our relationship with Damon. I'll leave out like some of the I'll not mention that he was disguised as the Adirondacks. I'll not mention the little time capsule things where we saw into parallel universes. I'll just kind of mention like the fights and the Cyricism, and also not mention that where the fights were. I'll describe their sceneries, like one was in a mansion, one was on a bridge, but I'll not be like, I fought a guy in Baldur's Gate.
Okay, yeah. While you're telling that, they just kind of make, they kind of just chime in with like random comments. Like Fembris will be like, "That guy sounds like a dick," and like just like stray comments that work their way in.
Anya's gonna jump on the table and play a violin.
She's had too much wine.
That was out of nowhere.
She's had too much water, Davy, and wine.
Yeah, and after a while, we'll say Hilary notices your violin, Anya, and she's like, "Can you play us something?"
Do you get the whole inn going?
I will.
And as you kind of stand up, she's like, "On the table." She kind of pushes you up until you're standing on the table. You get the sense, you heard the rules. If you want to be rowdy, you come to the hearth, so you don't feel uncomfortable being a bit boisterous in here. This is kind of the protocol in here. And you see other tables. There's other groups that are having their own festivities. And yeah, you start blasting out a jaunty tune that they, Fembris and Hilary will kind of bump the bottom of their wine glasses or their feet to, and kind of sing along where they know, or kind of fade in, fade out when they don't. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to do that night?
I'll turn to Urfa. Like, Samurai, like probably like by the end of the night, like 7 rubs in, just dying, unable to walk. Urfa carrying him up the stairs to his room. I'll turn like, good night, and fall into my room.
My little boy, my little bird boy. Yeah. Samurai, you wake up the next morning, not feeling great, and you feel worse knowing you've got a day of research ahead. But yeah, so just to fast forward through it, Fembris is like hanging around in the courtyard when you guys, she's doing some busy work when you guys come out. You tell her you're ready to research, and you give her your list of topics, and she books you, she reserves you a research space in the Pillars of Pedagogy. So in game terms, you'll tell her the things you're interested in researching. She'll go off and find the books in the Great Library that she thinks best suits what you're asking for, and then she'll bring them back to you if you have anything you wish to research. Outside of game terms, we know that's happening, so you guys can just tell me what it is you'd like to research, and I'll tell you a bit about it. And in-game, the process of that happening is reading books that Fembris has brought back from reading the library, and so on and so forth. So Urfa, we'll just go around in the normal order, like the rotation. So Urfa, what were your topics?
I want a firearms book to be copied, so like a book on how to maintain a firearm, how to shoot a firearm without blowing yourself up, kind of thing. Specifically, just on a revolver pistol, if that's all right.
Okay.
And I'd like to send that straight to be like copied.
Okay, yeah, no worries. So we'll say that's being done. She finds a fairly thin volume called Firearms and Artificery, which doesn't have a listed author. Which, since it's thinner, it won't take as long to be copied up. So she'll start the process on that straight up. What were your other topics?
Dragon slaying / the history of dragons.
Okay.
Just anything on the best ways to dispose of them. The 2 books that are most useful to you, Urfa, are in that topic. One is called The Complete Dragon Hunter. This thin manual is in 1 volume and outlines techniques used to search for and hunt down dragons. The author is Smergiuk Dragonsbane, a notorious Cormyrean dragon slayer that lived nearly 200 years ago. So this manual, The Complete Dragon Hunter, is very much about like the tracking, the process of hunting a dragon. It doesn't really have information about the dragons outside of the realm of what is needed for hunting, killing, tracking, the hunt. The other book that's quite useful is called The Draconomicon, the Book of Dragons. It's quite an aged tome, bound in dark leather, and appears to be somewhat composed of dragon scales, with like this big metal clasp that requires a key to open.
it contains like anything you might need to know about the physiology and psychology of both chromatic and metallic dragons. Not about gem dragons, but chromatic and metallic ones. There's also no author listed on this book. But yeah, this one, it's got like, anatomical drawings with descriptions of what, like, in a red dragon, where the glands that produce the fire are, how the wings work, where to injure them most effectively, stuff like that. And then it's also got stuff about the psychology, like what kind of, like you already know green dragons preferred, their treasure was like enslaving living creatures. But, more than that, like what white dragons prefer in their treasure hoard, what red dragons prefer, so on and so forth, how they behave for the purposes of how this is useful. So say if you were to ever come up against a red dragon, or if you ever wanted to know about red dragon, you would just say to me, so take note that you've done this research, and then be like, I want to know this about red dragons. I should know this because when we were in Candlekeep, I researched it, blah, blah, blah. And I won't just tell you all the information about dragons right now because that's kind of useless. But if you ever have specific questions, just point back to this, and I'll tell you what you need to know. What was was there another topic?
There is one final one. The history of Cyric up until present day, and if there are any known champions of Cyric.
Okay, cool.
I'm looking for the champions, like, specifically.
Okay.
Because I feel like there will be a threat. If Jax is being chosen as a champion, that means all gods have a champion, in a way. So Cyric probably has a champion.
She brings you two books. One is called Prince of Lies, and the other is called The Trial of Cyric the Mad. So Prince of Lies is a frantic and difficult to follow collection of essays by a former Cyricist, which details the rites and rituals of those who worship Cyric, and the scattered goals he yearns for. He yearns for his abashed flock to move toward. It's kind of outdated. Like Cyric's been changing recently. Changing is the way he does things, so it's kind of outdated. But kind of gives you an insight into the thought process. And Trial of Cyric the Mad is actually written from the point of view of someone called Malik El Sami, who is from Kalamshan, and was or is, you can't find information about whether he's still alive currently, but he was a chosen of Cyric. He was renowned through your research. He was renowned. He was called the Seraph of Lies. He was innately able to know if he was being lied to. He couldn't be fooled or lied to. That was one of the gifts Cyric gave him as his chosen. Was there anything else?
No, that was it.
Very cool. Samura, is there anything you would like to research?
I want to firstly ask about a specific dragon called Avirondex's Storm Scourge.
Okay.
I wouldn't know it's a dragon, but just ask about a character called Avirondex Storm Scourge.
A figure. But you fairly quickly, you come to that. She says the only mention of that name she could find in the collection is in a large collection of volumes that is observably compromised of different parchments and handwritings, and has been accumulated over centuries to solidify every known dragon that has ever been cited in Faerun. The collection is called Dragons of Faerun. There is no one author listed, which it doesn't surprise you, as there are clearly many who've contributed to this collection. And as you're kind of confused looking at this, there's kind of half of the book is just alphabetically the names of every dragon ever catalogued in Faerun. And beginning with an A, fairly close, you see the name Avirondax.
Can I quickly do first of all, skim the book and just like quick glances? Handwriting. Any handwriting I recognise?
Make a perception check. Or investigation, rather.
Sick of life. Not one!
Not one. No. They all look. Some of them are kind of hard to read, especially the beginning of the book, because, and then kind of intermittently in the dramatis personae in the back, like the collection of names, like the one, and you can kind of tell by the parchment. The ones that are from further back in time, the writing is a lot more difficult to read. It's in slightly more archaic versions of common the further back you go. So that's so on and so forth.
All right. I'm just gonna skip to the Evrondex page and see what it's about then.
It's just a list of names of dragons, and
Okay.
so it's got like the name, then like their moniker, the type of dragon they are, and the pronunciation. So you see Avarundax, Storm Scourge, Ancient Blue Dragon, then like the pronunciation guide to Avarundax, like spelled out phonetically. So yeah, that kind of seeing Avarundax's name in this list of dragons is kind of disorientating for you for a moment. You're like, you can't quite put your finger on it. Yeah, you see this name, it's there, and it's it's there, and it's got his nickname, Storm Scourge. So you see these two things together, and you're kind of looking at it. Obviously, you're in a room with silence in it, so you can't really say anything, but you're looking at it, and you're just kind of studying it.
Can I? Okay. After I bring myself back to bearings after that fiasco, mentally, I want to then look at Tiamat and how people nearly freed her.
Okay, cool. Through a mix of looking at a book Eartha had been looking at, Draconomicon, the Book of Dragons, and also another book called Rise of Tiamat, which is the retelling of the events that happened a few years ago. Basically a few years ago, the Cult of the Dragon assembled this artifact called the Mask of the Dragon Queen, which was essentially, it was 5 separate masks, one for each color dragon: red, white, green, blue, black. Then when assembled, created this superior mask, which when worn by it was worn by the leader of the Cult of the Dragons, the Cult of the Dragon, at a place called the Well of Dragons, which is like this massive well crater, like huge, like massive, which Tiamat then crawled out of after the ritual was complete. And this was a huge deal at the time, like the Lord's Alliance, so Waterdeep, Neverwinter, all the major cities assembled their armies to march on this, to thwash it, and they eventually did with the help of some like free agents and mercenaries, and they pushed Tiamat back down the well into hell, and the portal was sealed. And yeah, so this Mask of the Dragon Queen was it was the key to unlocking that door.
Right. Okay.
But it makes all that mention. So it mentions how the story, you read a bit at the beginning of the story, and you're like, don't need this, and you start flicking to the back, where you find like the ending of the story. The leader of the cult using the mask to open the gate out of hell, and Tiamat crawling out and then being pushed back. After he was defeated, it doesn't make specific mention of what happened to the mask, but it's kind of implied, and also you reading between the lines a bit, that probably Waterdeep, being the most powerful member of the Lord's Alliance, probably took it to wherever it is now. They probably were in charge of relinquishing it and disposing of it, or sealing it somewhere, or destroying it.
Next, I'll look at Luskan. Just general knowledge about what type of town it is. Not really too much detail, just like the type of town and the type of area.
Yeah, cool. She brings you a book by someone called Aidan Greymantle. It's a book called Far from the Misty Hills. It's a travel journal, and there is one chapter in which she is in Luskan. It's also known as the City of Sails. It's kind of generally considered, this chapter is considered like a useful primer for anyone planning to visit or interested in the city's culture, or who lives there. It's kind of just like it's like a tour guide kind of thing. Kind of gives you a vibe. It's kind of similar to Baldur's Gate in the way that it's kind of like half Baldur's Gate, half Icewind Dale. It's kind of frigid north, but not quite. It's not like snow everywhere. It's kind of like it snows heavy in winter. There's no snow in the summer. It's quite seedy. The host tower of the Arcane Brotherhood is there, which is kind of what the city is most known for. Yeah, it's got a big pirate reputation as well.
All right. Then I'll ask about giant eagles, just whereabouts they're located, if training them has ever been a thing people have managed to do, or like, not even to the extent of training them, but to the extent of like, having them as like friendly allies who like go on adventures with them.
Based on that's quite like a much broader topic, so she finds quite a lot on that. So she brings you whatever's most useful. You kind of deduce typically elves were known to ride giant eagles as mounts, they were elven mounts, and elves sometimes armored them or didn't. Aarakocra were also known to fly with them, not typically ride them because Aarakocra already have wings, but like fight with them or like tame them. But like they could ride them should they please. But yeah, like elves and Aarakocran tribes typically, but there's not that many elven cultures that haven't like assimilated into wider culture. Like it's more of like an ancient elven, rural elven thing rather than just a normal elven thing, that kind of thing.
Then I want to get a book on like Sylvanus's way of reaching out. Like, is it like how the Red Knight put a ruby underneath Elvis's pillar? Like any ways people know that he commonly reaches out or sets signs in the path?
With that specific topic, you would know the Red Knight is a lot more niche. Sylvanus is a lot more general, has a lot more of a general portfolio as well. A lot of Sylvanus's signs come through nature, come through the leaves, the wind, the snow, the rain, signs in the world around.
So Samurai would probably think that the druid down in that cave mentioning him was just random.
It's certainly still possible. He's still a god. He could still communicate with druids and clerics that follow him. But typically, based on what you're reading, it would be more common that the natural world would. But that could also be a lot harder to read if you're not looking for it. That kind of thing.
And finally, I'll name the word. I'll speak the word Larafailar and see if they've got anything on him.
So she points you to the same collection, Dragons of Faerun. Further down alphabetically, so much past Avarundax, you find L.A. Larathylar, also known as the Chameleon Dragon. And the information that's provided already confuses you because it says Larathylar, the Chameleon Dragon. And then she is listed as a Lambia, which is not a dragon. So where it had said Ancient Blue Dragon for Avarundax, it says, I believe I'm getting the pronunciation right, Lambia for Larathylar. Can
I research on like what that is?
Yeah, sure. Make a. Do you want to like ask for the library, or are you making an intelligence check?
I'm gonna ask the library and make sure it's like correct.
Sure. Then they'll bring you like a familiar tome, Volo's Guide to Monsters. I
forget that them books in real life are actually still books in the game.
Yeah. Typically, I think I'm telling you Lamia, not Lambia. Specifically, Larathylar is listed as a Lamia noble.
How do you spell Lamia, sorry?
Lamia.
Okay.
She's listed as a Lamia noble. When you do some research on that, a Lamia noble is kind of like they are the rulers of a sub-race called Lamia. And Lamia nobles are kind of like imagine a centaur, but instead of horse, it's a snake. So like their bottom half is like a long snake, and their upper half is a human apparent. But they're renowned as shape changers and that kind of thing. And they're also very, very powerful. But there's only a few. There's a few in the Forgotten in Faerun and beyond where they're found. So they're found typically in the Anauroch Desert, Kalimshan, Mulhorand, which is essentially like Egypt, and it's right next to Chichen, which is Greece, apparent. Stuff like that. They're also found in Zakhara, which is like
any of
Africa,
them near
part of itself.
Westgate?
The Honor Rock is probably the closest, and even that, like, basically in between Westgate and the Honor Rock is the Lake of Dragons, and then all of Cormier, and then at the top of Cormier is the Honor Rock Desert.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I think that's it then. Yeah, that's it.
Actually, wait, sorry. I think I might have not given you everything. Actually, you find one more tidbit of information. When you're looking through, you're moving your Volo's Guide to Westgate, and while you're flipping through it, you glance a name, and you see the name Lara Thylar, and you kind of open it up. And you find out Lara Thylar is a sorceress able to possess, renowned to be able to possess and control dragons. But she is presumed dead as of right now.
Okay.
Any other topics?
No.
Very good. Anya, is there anything you would like to research, or any topics you would like more information on in general?
Hate to be boring, but no, I don't really.
No, that's all right.
Not that I can think of on the.
Right
now.
Yeah, like all the Cyricist stuff and all the Tiamat stuff's already been answered, so that's all fine. So you guys finish your research for the day. Anya, if you don't have anything to research, you don't necessarily have to have gone there. Is there anything you would have preferred to have done while they were off doing research, or would you just want to sit around while they were doing that?
Probably I would. I did. I was quite interested in going to the Temple of Ogma.
Yeah, sure. So while they're off doing their research, you can go to this kind of quaint little temple that's beside a granary, in between the stables, the smithy stables and the granary. Just a small little temple with just these decorative gargoyles above that kind of loom down. As you kind of enter, you see a Shao, a person of Shao heritage. So Shao is kind of like Chinese in this world. Just trying to find the name. I'm trying to find if it's a she or a he. I forgot. You find a young Shao woman, a priest, who is kind of lighting some candles, cleaning up the shrine. And she kind of she bids you welcome as you come in. She's like, "Might I help you?"
Oh, just a visitor. What can you tell me about this temple? It's very interesting.
Well, I'm the lawkeeper here. We worship Ogma, who is the god of writing and knowledge. We fit in here at Candlekeep with all the books and all the learning. I haven't been here too long, but I'm the lawkeeper here now and the caretaker. My name is Kay. That's K-E-I. My name is Kay. I'm not a member of the... I'm not with the monks or anything. I just tend to the temple. It's small, but it's nice. I was just doing a service. It's not really Ogma's domain, but I was doing a service for some passerbys. I have some unlit candles if there's anyone that's passed that you'd like to light a candle for.
Yes, I'll take 2, please.
She kind of walks you up to the altar, and she sets 2 candles, 2 of the spare candles on top of the altar. She kind of takes out it's like a writing implement, but it doesn't have like ink on the end. It's just got like a metal tip. And she's like, What were their names?
You
don't have to-
bear
you
with
can-
me a
You can
second.
check. It's all right.
I've forgotten their names. That's so bad. Hang on.
I was just
They're not your real
inspired when I
parents.
forget the names.
Oh, you're doing your parents? Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were doing Blur.
Oh no.
You only knew her for like a week. It's fine.
I
Been
can't believe
already.
it's just because their names are so like old-fashioned. I completely forgot.
It's
Genevieve and Lawrence
Lawrence.
and
yeah.
Joanne.
Yeah, she kind of engraves onto the side of the wax those, and then gives you an implement, a match to light the flames, to light the tip of the candle. And when you're finished, she's there to talk if you want, but she's also, you don't have to say anything if you're finished. Yeah.
Probably just kneel at the altar and just light the candles and place them and just kind of make a prayer.
Mhm.
Just kind of just talking to myself and kind of just simply saying that, like as though I'm praying to my parents, as though I feel like they're there, just saying that I miss them and I know of how they actually died, and that I hope they're proud of me and things like that.
In kind of like with the nice breeze coming in, like that nice sea breeze, you're right on the coast, coming in from the outside. It's something because it's a drafty stone temple. You feel kind of comfortable, and yeah, you spend the afternoon kind of chilling in there while they're researching, and yeah. So when you guys meet up later that day, what would you like to do? Are you guys summoning Alchrist, or are you not going to do that?
If we talked as a free in private, Samurai would advise
Yeah, you can have
against.
the time.
Yeah, I mean, like, Samurai would advise against it if we have no business with him, apart from the stone, because we don't want to give him the stone, we want to take it back.
No, I'm fine with that.
Mhm.
We're keeping Wade for a bit longer then.
So are you just are you guys just wanting to wait until your commissions are finished and then
I want to use sending while I wait.
yeah, so we pretty much got, you guys have 9 more days, which by the time that 9 days wraps up, both of your commissions will have finished. So you can just shout things at me that you want to do
18
during that time.
sendings each, baby.
That's so many sendings. It's like the whole population.
Can I sending Lara Fila?
Sure, go for it.
And I'm gonna do it just at a point where I'm in private, like in my room or something. Like I don't want anyone to know. And I'll go. Hello. I'm Averondax's son. He told me to contact you if he went missing, and he's missing. And that's it.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking this. Yeah, so you're kind of in your room, now that you've got some privacy, muttering kind of just an unsure kind of plea, I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I was told to find you. Hello? Is anyone just kind of reaching out, hoping for something? You hear after a good long time, not too long, but it feels like pounding, in reality it's probably 10 seconds, but your heartbeat waiting kind of feels longer. You hear the quivering thumb. Tell me when you're near. That's the end of the message.
Okay, I'm also
down, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I will. I'll write it down. But I also need a different name up because I'm going to cast Sending again. Because I'm going to cast Sending 18 times. No, I won't. I won't cast it 18 times. That's too much. But I would like to actually cast Sending to Automate.
Okay.
But can I? We've got 9 days. So can I cast Sending to Automate on a different day? So I have 2
Oh, yeah,
spell
yeah, yeah.
slots still.
Yeah. Don't worry about keeping track of this because there's no combat or anything. You're
And
going
also-
to bed restfully.
Also, the quivering thumb, correct? I just need to write that down before I do this.
Yes, the quivering thumb.
I'm gonna sneeze now.
Thumb.
You do have Volo's Guide to Westgate if you want to try and find what that is.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that one day as well, but for now, I'll cast Sending to Automate, and I'll go, hello, Automate. Samura. You friendly neighborhood bird man. I'm okay. Fought a dragon. That was fun. How are you?
Hell, sounds like you've been having a lot of fun, lad. We're all well. Yeah. We've got a bigger crew out of Luskin, but we're heading off now.
Okay, sending straight back. Any birds in the crew called Icky? A man called Salu?
A few more moments go by.
Oh, can I add in one bit as well before you respond? And I'll also just quickly snip it. How's the big guy? Let me grab his name. Aramag.
You didn't strike me as the kind of person that was looking for birds, but aye, there's a few birds, I suppose. Oh, not like birds. Like you get it. Haven't seen Aramag. Nowhere near Chult yet. Yeah.
Just didn't answer the question. That's great. Sending again.
So what happens when you ask 3 questions?
Again, Aracrocrans called Icky, or a man called Salu.
Aye, this is what I meant. No Aracrocrans, no birds. No one like that, I'm afraid.
Okay, right. I think that's my recap for everyone apart from Icky and Salu. Yes, now I'm gonna cast Sending again. We got the time. I got 18 spell slots to burn. I'll cast Sending to Icky. I'll go, hello. Sorry, it's been a while. Just, fighting dragons. Using magic. Sorry about that. How are you?
A few, you can feel like the calculation happening, like the consideration. I'm fine. I'm sorry if I was cruel last we spoke. I hope you should be careful. Don't die. I'm sure your daddy would hate that. We're still in Luskin. Leaving soon.
I'll just whap one back, going, yeah, stay away from any magic in Luskan. They're evil. And I know there's for a fact one of them in there who specifically hates Aracrocans. I'll keep myself safe if you keep yourself safe.
That can't still do it.
Yeah, I know. I really do care about you. And I'll end it there.
Yeah, well, thanks. I'm sorry things got weird. I care about me too.
Yeah.
That's the end of the message.
They're a weird bird lady samurai would be with.
So yeah, you got any more sendings in you?
No, I'm alright.
I
You
do.
can stop remembering all your voices.
I've got just briefly. I don't want to say what I'm gonna say because obviously it's just the normal like how you doing. I'm keeping fine. How you doing? You know, that kind of a thing. Making sure they're all happy and that. I want to do one to every family member. But we don't have to go over everything because I'm assuming they're all okay.
I understand. The only one I think we should do is your sister, because you haven't spoken to your sister yet.
Oh shit, yeah. I forgot about that.
I can assume the rest. The rest is, yeah, I'm alright.
Yeah, pretty much,
Be
yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
You were gonna text Ramas? You just saw him.
What, like a couple of days ago? I'm texting Ramas last.
Fair enough.
It's gonna be like the last day.
It'll be a 10-day probably by the time you get to Ramas.
Yeah. Oh, we're heading to Westgate by the way, so we're see you in like a couple months.
Be there for the wedding.
Yeah. So let us know.
So you're sending your sister?
Yeah. Hey. Been a while. How's the studying going? And you, obviously. Hope you're keeping well. Won't be long till I see you again anyway. Eartha.
Oh, I heard you finally learned how to cast sending.
I forgot she was.
Very,
Yeah.
very, very impressive. I shall have to commemorate this. You twat.
I want to send him back. Just
Shit,
because
he's firing back.
Just because I can't use magic like you doesn't mean you can bully me. I'm still older, and then that's it.
You're also combat trained and you forgot that part.
No, it doesn't matter about that bit.
I could kick Ramas's ass, and I could also kick yours if you ever come back. I suppose we'll see you at the wedding.
Send him back.
Oh, wait. Was I supposed to say anything about it? And it just kind of rambles on like, oh shit, was I supposed to... fuck.
Teaser, this is your one-up.
Send him back, send him back. I already knew about the wedding. And I've come face to face with two ancient dragons fighting each other. So, you know. I don't know. I was going to say that.
You get another response back. Did you kill them?
I'm going to reply. Oh no, I made one fight the other.
Manipulation. It's actually strategy. She should respect it.
So it's not like against. In fact, it's probably preferred.
Yeah. You hear, oh, wow. So Ramas has still killed more dragons than you. Very great bragging, Eartha. Miss you every day. I've got school soon, so I'll catch you on the flip.
Imagine if you text her at like 4 a.m.
Time zones, baby. Do you know how, as soon as you guys got sending, I had to go and work out the time zones of this fucking... Do you know what that does to a man?
Hey, I'm sending people who are nearby.
Thank you.
Actually, can I cast sending again?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That
might as well be your catchphrase.
Like, I do cast the most by a far mile. I want to sending Armag. Or Armog, sorry. With it. Hello.
The dragon turtle, yeah?
Yeah, the dragon turtle in short. Important to be specific. I'll say, hello, presume you haven't talked to anyone in a while since Avarondax went missing? I'm still looking for him. How are you? I know you like to talk every once in a while. Something along the lines. I didn't count the words, if I'm honest with you, but if I could shorten that if I needed to.
No, it's alright. You get like a good to hear you are well. Oh, okay. I'm okay. And it just kind of trails on, like just like kind of rambling, like I saw a coral reef. It just kind of keeps going very slowly, and you kind of learn to tune it out as you're just kind of doing whatever else you're doing as it slowly continues.
Am I in my room? No, I can say I did this
Wherever
at some
you
random
want.
point. I'll get Eartha wherever he is, and I'll tell him about the fact I'm just talking to my friendly neighborhood dragon friend, and just really show off, like, oh yeah, you made 2 dragons fight, did you? Yeah, I mean, I talk to one on a regular basis.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll after seeing he's not impressed, I'll go, you know, that is another turtle we could get to help fight for us. That's it's a good bit of strategy right there, knowing dragons who will fight for you.
Hang on. No. You backtrack. You said turtle. What do you mean turtle? And then changed to dragon.
It's a dragon turtle.
Are they counted as dragons?
Yes, they got.
They are?
They got all the usual.
Oh.
Yes.
But they don't fall under
they're
alignment.
neutral
do they?
dragons. They're
Mighty,
neutral.
mighty fierce. Maybe not ancient red, but good fighters. Deal with many krakens. It's usually a territory battle, if I'm honest with you. Yeah, there's one in Port Naizaru you might have heard on. He's quite famous. It's why you have to pay a toll every time you enter on a ship.
Make a intelligence check.
Oh. Shit. 14.
You hadn't heard the name Aramag before, but you'd heard that there was supposedly a fearsome beast that guarded the bay of Port Nyanzaru. You can't even remember if you'd heard it was a dragon turtle or not, but it sounds vaguely familiar. And now that he solidifies it, you think you remember kind of bits of it.
I can't promise this, but I'm pretty sure I'm the only person in the world who gets to go in and out of that port without paying a fine. He's the only one who lets me pass because we're friends.
Lucky you.
Yeah, that's actually how what's her face? Automate, the woman who brought me to Baldur's Gate when we met. She gave me a lift for free. That's the only way I could afford it because she didn't have to pay the toll, and trust me, my fare here was a lot less than the toll you have to pay Aramag.
While you guys are talking
shit.
about money, we'll say it dawns on one of you. If you're teleporting to Westgate and going about your business from Westgate onwards, you have 2 horses and a cart to deal with.
Oh,
Get sea salt to go with us.
No.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 8 medium creatures, and they're large.
And also, you're teleporting into Aurora's shop.
Ah, yeah.
Another question. Speaking of money, did we find anything out about if anyone was interested in a dragon egg?
Roll a D100.
Ellis, seriously, you gotta roll high here.
Dead on 80.
80. Hilari brings back some gossip, some interested buyers. None are willing to pay 14,000. The highest offer is 9,000.
Can I turn to Eartha here and kind of go like, we could do a bit of a betting system, auction it.
Here's an idea.
They could run each other up.
We could also do that. We could also say, 9 grand, and you look after our horses whilst we're gone.
I believe it was you that 20 minutes ago said, I have no intention of returning to this.
But if my horse is here and I can't, I was like under the assumption, oh, my horse can teleport too. But if he's not coming with me, I'm coming back till I get my horse. I'm not abandoning my horse. He's been with me since the beginning of my journey, ish, kinda, halfway.
You could. No. Zip.
Fair enough. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna say you could get it delivered to Westgate. If you sent the horse off now, it would be, it obviously wouldn't get there before us, but it'd be like a week.
I had an idea.
A journey ahead of us.
I had an idea, and I'm just gonna say, you have the ability to circumvent that, but I can't tell you what it. I gotta stop being so on your side. You have the ability to cheat it, but.
Hey Jackson. You
said
you said 8 medium creatures, right?
Medium creatures now reduce.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can put your horses in your pocket.
Yeah, so we'll bring the horses.
You turn them into show ponies.
How are we gonna bring
whenever
the
that
cart,
happens,
though?
I'll bring the horses.
How many
Oh,
reduce
fuck.
do you have?
It's a concentration spell. I can only cast one at a time.
Oh no.
Do you reckon?
We got the
Can
woman.
any-
I'm sure the woman can do it too. While casting
She's
teleportation.
teleporting.
Yeah, that's not a concentration spell.
Do any of you have enlarge reduce? Anya or Eartha, do you have enlarge
I'll
reduce?
double check because I can sort my spells out, but I will double check.
You can.
Yeah, teleportation circle is not a concentration
It's
spell.
not teleporting. She's teleporting.
Oh, she's using normal teleport.
Yeah.
Let me have a look at that, because I don't know if that is a... Go away. Teleport 5D, because this could be an interesting idea.
Is enlarge reduce?
Second?
Teleport is not a concentration spell.
Okay,
So if we can convince her, we can get her to do it. Which I
she'll
think... with the
probably
fact-
she'll probably try and source someone else to cast it, because if she's focusing on the teleport, she'll just want someone else to cast it. So she'll ask someone else to lend her a hand and do that for her.
I'd like to say also, we've had a couple of rowdy nights while we've been inviting her down to the tavern a lot.
The boys and the girls back out.
Boys and the girls.
You've made a few friends. You've met some tavern folk. One of the most interesting people outside of Fembris and Hilari that you've had the pleasure of meeting. You've made acquaintances now with an ogre called Little One. So on this next night that you're in, you make acquaintance with this big lumbering ogre. Kind of comes over and he's like, "Excuse me, good sirs, might I sit with you? And good lady, terribly sorry."
Yeah, I mean, anyone can sit with us. The price is just one round.
Jolly good. And he kind of stomps off to the bar and orders it. You've never seen an ogre talk with that sophisticated. Ogres are not supposed to be. They're like crude, disgusting creatures. Basically, just the troll you met, but fat. It's very strange. He's acting very odd. Through the course of the night, yeah.
Can I, while he goes to the bar, can I turn to the magic woman and be like, "Hey, do you know what's up with that?"
Yeah, she points. He's wearing it's like a tiara, like a dainty crown. And she tells you that he is wearing a headband of intellect. A few years ago, the ogre was like many others of his kind, brutish and cruel. He met a halfling adventurer wearing the shiny gold headband and killed the puny runt for it. When the ogre attuned to it, the headband grew in size, enabling him to wear it. With an improved ability to reason and ponder, the ogre felt compelled to appreciate the error of his ways and seek out a better life. He adopted the name Little One to honor the halfling whose life he cut short. And he's so he kind of took this magic item, gained the ability of higher intelligence, and is now oh, whoopsie, and he's good, just going about like a normal life, strutting around. So yeah, you guys enjoy a night of drinks with him, if you wish to do so. And yeah, so also Eartha and Samara, you can strike, Samara, you can add those spells to wherever. Eartha, you can add firearms and artificery. as a training manual that you have been given a copied version of after the majority of those days have passed. And yeah, so actually, if you guys are spending this amount of time in Candlekeep, that means on the calendar after you've spent. Sorry, I'm pulling up my live calendar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the 6th day, you're in Candlekeep. It is the spring equinox, so it turns into the season changes from winter into spring while you are staying in Candlekeep. And yeah, so unless there's anything else you guys would like to do, because also all that research we can assume is spread out across all these days. Is there anything else anyone would like to do, or are you guys ready to leave with Hilari to go to Westgate?
Check the blacksmiths.
One night, I'd also like to do
It's
a
just all
prayer.
the standard stuff. Samurai,
Like-
you do a prayer. Anya?
I'd like to contact. I'd like to contact my Aunt Clemence.
Go for it, yeah.
Okay. Hey Aunt Clemence. How's you and Uncle Eugene? I'm in Candlekeep. Oh God, I don't know what else to say.
That's how I feel whenever I text you.
What did I say? I said hi and hey Aunt Clemence. How's
You
you
said like hope
and
you and Eugene are okay.
Uncle? Yeah. I think that's it. God, it's so boring.
A few quick moments go by. It's not late. It's like 8 p.m. And you get like, oh, Anya, me and your uncle are fine. It's great to hear your voice. I hope everything's going well. I hope your song's going well. I hope it's all. I hope you made friends. I hope we see you soon. Good luck. That's the end of the message.
I also
mhm.
want to cast Send In to Alistair.
Go for it. Cool. Yeah, go for it. Interesting.
I'm just trying to think of what to say.
It's a long time coming. Yeah.
Hey Alistair. How have you been since Waterdeep? Hope you're safe. What you up to? There we go, 25.
Yeah.
Is that 25? Was that
Very-
15? That was 15,
play
but hey,
with it.
that's fine. We'll
You can
just
play
do
with
that
it. You can
anyway.
have some more if you want. It's alright.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
No worries. Very quickly, like barreling through, you hear, Anya, that's good to hear from you. Hope Baldur's Gate wasn't shit. Neverwinter was fun. Made quick friends with Barbarian. Now with, and it cuts out, and then very quickly another casting comes through, which you can respond to if you like. Oh, shit. Okay. I was near Neverwinter, and I met this barbarian woman called Yrsa, and then we went to Luskin, and now we made some new friends. We're starting a party. It's sick. Hope, and it cuts out.
A lot of people in Luscombe.
Jax, I don't know if you've caught on just yet to who these people are.
I was half reading a spell, so I definitely didn't.
Well,
This is why I brought it up, because I was hoping he'd thought he'd catch on.
I was letting you do your sending while I was reading a spell.
I mean, actually, in character, Anya, you would have obviously said out loud, "Hey, Alistair." Samura would recognise the name Alistair from Icky's sending message.
Oh, that's just
She
party.
made friends with a puny bard called called Alistair.
Hot damn! Alright, this is where Sauron bounces from his
He also mentioned Ursa as well, and Ursa was mentioned in Icky's message.
Yes, a barbarian.
Ursa, something.
So yeah, I'll say to Anya. So seems our friends are travelling together. Icky and so seemed with what they're doing. I've cut out, haven't I?
You're back now.
Start again, buddy.
I mean, I'm basically just saying, do you know what they're up to?
He didn't say much. He just said they were having a party. He kept cutting out.
Party. So you guys are a party.
Oh, they were a party. Okay. He just mentioned a barbarian named Ursa. And
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, obviously, I'll tell her a little bit about Icky and Salu, not too much, and say, like, you know, it's probably a party of 4 in that case.
Yeah, so you could assume they have a bard, a barbarian, a fighter, and a ranger. You could assume.
Yeah, I'd say ranger.
And yeah, so yeah, you feel more comfortable knowing that through some string of fate, you guys have met each other, and especially you, Samura, because you are worried about Icky and less so, but still so, Salu. You feel kind of comfortable knowing that, despite the odds, you met Anya, and somehow your friends went the opposite direction, and still met a friend of Anya, who, you know, him and Anya were on the same path, just like you and Icky were on the same path, and you both managed to divert in separate ways. So, you know, that kind of helps you rest easy at night.
I feel left out.
Can I, this night when I sleep?
Come on, don't you get it? Ursa,
Oh.
come on.
what?
Has Alice got someone in his backstory called Ursa by any chance?
His name's Ursa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that's a...
They sound the same.
Yeah, damn.
The little joke.
Who's Ursa? Who's Ursa?
No, it
That's
sounds
the
like
barbarian.
Wait, I thought it was someone Alice knew. Like,
No,
Afraid
it's
no.
Ursa.
okay.
His name's Ursa.
Never
And you've got
mind.
Anya's friend, Samura's friend. The little joke
Right.
from me to you.
Yeah, that night when I go to bed, I want to try and pray to Tiamat as I fall asleep and try and get an audience with her.
Okay.
Just say something along the lines of like, "Hey, been a little while. I see you gave me something else to play with. Fancy talking about it, maybe? I had a couple questions, you know. I presume you look over every once in a while. You might have seen what I found out."
You drift off to sleep, waiting to be taken into dream. And your eyes open the next morning, not having dreamt that you can recall, or not having dreamt on topic.
Cool. I'll grab the stone, see what he has to say.
The stone is not talking to you.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of giving him back. I forgot about that. I wasn't. Wait, can he? Does he know what I'm saying when I'm not touching him?
Yeah.
Ah, damn. I thought he couldn't hear me if I couldn't hear him. I thought we
No.
both had to be holding it to do it.
You keep trying to talk telepathically, but he can only hear you when you talk out loud.
Okay.
Do you want to just sell this egg as well for 9 grand? Just get it over with. I don't feel like carrying a green dragon egg for much longer.
I know we're losing out on 5 grand, but at the same time, that egg could die and that egg could hatch. It's probably safer to get rid.
Yeah. Yep, so can we sell the egg for 9 grand?
Sure, Hilary will facilitate that, and she'll bring you back the 9 grand one day. So strike off the egg and give yourself into the bag of holding 9,000 gold pieces.
It's nice. It's nice. It's very
Yeah.
nice.
Is there anything else anyone would like to do, or would you like to fast forward to the day when you head out?
Let's head out.
Nah. Happy.
So yeah, Hilari meets you. You know, Fembris says goodbye. She's like, if you come by again, ask for me. It'd be a pleasure to show you around again, to help facilitate you. Then yeah, after you along with Hilari head outside the city walls, and then she kind of outstretches her hands and says, everyone hold hands. And kind of Anya, she grabs your hand. Samura, she grabs yours. Everyone needs to stand in a circle.
We've got the horses, right?
Yeah, you got to just put like a foot or like a hand on the horse.
Can't we just buy another cart when we get there?
I kind of fly and put both my feet on one of the horses' backs.
Can we say we sold the cart here to get another one when we get over there?
Sure. You'd be selling it at a loss, so probably about 50 gold pieces, we'll say you get for it.
Okay. It's fine.
So yeah, so you can give yourself 50 gold pieces. Yeah. So you three, Hilari.
Is teleport only 5?
You got Jade. Jade's the issue.
Can we not put Jade in the bag of holding?
We can.
What was it?
Jade can't suffocate, so she can just go in the bag of holding.
Yes, sure. Let me just. Oh, it's 8 willing creatures anyway, so it's fine. So Jade also holds someone's hand. You grab the horses a bit, and she starts a incantation, repeating these ancient verses, and you teleport out of space, and that's where we'll end the chapter.